Ladies, gentlemen, fans, family, and friends at home, welcome to the live stream. We're here at St George's Park for round 4 of the English National Leagues, starting this morning with the Women's Super League. Match 1, it should be an exciting game. It is London Storm against Nottingham Sheriffs. 6th place versus 8th place, with only 1 point separating the two teams. Both teams currently 5 players, with Storm in possession of 3 balls. And they do get a nice 2-ball hit. Sheriffs unsuccessful on the 2-ball counter though. Storm again in possession of 3 balls. Looks like at the moment Sheriffs are trying to play the 2-ball game. Looking to go for the running counters instead. Much more defensive approach. But they are in possession of 3 now, so what can they get done? 2-ball release, but no hit. Great cover from Lauren Hems in the middle there, protecting her wingers and getting a nice block for herself. Storm release 3, and they do take out Emily Walker. Ball retriever Sam Cobbing having a nice little sit down there. Well survived with Lauren Hems again there. Nice one for on trade there. Sure, both sides will be happy with that. There's about 10 seconds remaining in the set. And Rich unsuccessful in making the catch, and Storm will take the first set. It's currently a little bit quiet in the hall this morning, just because it is first game of the day. And Women's Super League is the only league currently on at the moment, with the Men's League 3, I believe it is, not quite on yet. For any of our friends watching on Dodgeball on Twitch, welcome to the live stream. We've partnered with Dodgeball on Twitch for this live stream, and they've been really helpful in helping us get set up today. So if you are watching in anywhere other than England or the UK, welcome to the live stream. You can find plenty of matches and footage already on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/British Dodgeball. Watch the previous 3 rounds of National Leagues. Sheriffs with four balls and 1 player advantage, and they get a lovely toe shot there. Probably should have said, this morning I'm your host, my name is Alex Such. Later today I'm going to be joined by a couple other people helping me commentate, and then throughout the day we'll have numerous different people jumping on the live stream, commentating different games, as I myself will be playing later, and then other commentators will also be playing at different times throughout the day. 2 minutes into this set now, just 1 minute remaining. Sheriff still with the one-player advantage. Storm looking to decrease that deficit, but they are unsuccessful on the two-ball release. But so too are Sheriffs on the two-ball counter. Quite a steady pace game so far. Just going for one trades at the moment. Some nice fakes from Storm there. They release all 3 balls, take 2 hits. Taking Sheriffs by surprise there. It's not often you'll see a team release all 3 balls in possession. But Sheriffs do retaliate with a hit of their own. Bringing it back to 2 players apiece with only 15 seconds left on the clock. And a nice shot there from Rich. Well left there. Only 5 seconds left. A good block. And Sheriffs will take that second set. Storm now in possession of 4 balls. They do not make a hit. Sheriffs will keep their one-player advantage. Haven't really seen any catches so far this game. But Sheriffs have been known to take a lot of catches, so hopefully we'll see a few more of those. Sheriff's getting out of the way, lovely there. Oh, but a lovely toe shot there from Izzy Smith. As I was trying to say, Sheriffs, their dodging has improved massively as this game is slowly going on, but not much you do against a great toe shot there. Both sides taking the game nice and slow, nice and steady, calm and composed, not trying to force anything too much. Nice running counter there. Yanali slowing her pace, allowing Izzy Smith to come up and get that hit on Rich. Great standing counter from Lauren Hems there, taking out Lee. Now just 50 seconds remaining. Sheriff again, still with the one-player advantage. Smith unsuccessful on a dodge there. Sam Mason, nice, loud and clear there, telling both teams there's only 30 seconds remaining. Storm really going to have to push for something here. Choosing to go on ball though. Ten seconds remaining. Storm really need to get something big off now. Otherwise, Shell's going to take another set. They do get 1 hit, but with only a few seconds remaining, Sheriffs will take the set. That brings us at a score of 4-2, with only 5 minutes left in this first half. Sheriffs do lead by 1 set. Yeah, that throw looks a little invalid there. Unique spiking the ball on the floor a little short. For anyone new to dodgeball here, all players must make a valid attempt when throwing a ball. A ball must be within 1 meter of a player, otherwise it's deemed invalid and you will be called out. Good dodge in there, but unfortunately no catch for Storm. 1 minute played of this set, both teams at 4 each, but Storm will have 4 balls in possession. Will they choose to go through the block of Lauren Hems or go down the middle? They go through, take Lauren Hems out, but Rose will make a catch in the middle, bringing Rich back into the fray. Nice little dodging from Rich there, survived the 2-ball attack. Storm still in possession with the majority. Yeah, middle players are Sheriffs. Their dodging has improved greatly. Just simple dodges, nice side steps, jumping to the side. But lovely 3-ball release will take the right wing of Storm, but Smith does get a lovely counter. Now on her own against 3 players of Sheriffs. What can she get done? A nice block, but an equally nice catch from Rose. Will give Sheriffs the 2-set lead, 6-2 with less than 3 minutes remaining on the first half. Sheriffs do win the middle ball. They're going to go for a quick start with no cover though. Another 2-ball release from Storm, not quite connecting on the middle players of Sheriffs. A good, really unfortunate for Storm there. It's a nice block, but unfortunately it will be counted as a rebound catch. A lovely toe shot on Rose there from Storm. That was a really, really nice shot. But Lauren Hems doing what she does best, making a lovely catch, bringing Rose back onto court. For only 1 minute remaining, Storm are down by 2 players. .45 seconds remaining. If Sheriffs can keep this lead, it'll be huge going into the second half. Nice shot on the ball retriever there. Jamie Hughes taking it in just. You love to see it. Ooh, Lauren Hems close, but not quite taking the catch there. Sheriffs won't mind too much. They are still 2 players up with only 20 seconds remaining. Rich will make a catch. It will be a catch now, but again, only looks more and more disastrous for Storm here. And Sheriffs will take the final set of the first half. Sheriffs sitting very nicely at 8-2s at halftime. I'm sure Storm will have a lot to say in their halftime team talk. Over on the other court, although I can't quite see the score, the second half between Stafford Raptors and Bedford Mighty Eagles is just about to begin, with the Mighty Eagles currently in the lead. No, you're good. You're good.
That's why, because when you're not commentating, I'm like, oh, I'll turn it up or something. It's okay. I've had to really put some rehab into it. It's still not fine, but it's okay. It's not really. I went to, because basically I work with a leisure company, so I have loads of people at work who do that kind of stuff. So I just went to see these guys, and to be honest, when I saw one of these like a soft tissue guy, what he did something, and it clicked it back. So I think it must have been slightly out of socket for a couple of weeks. It's like on my elbow, it like jarred it up. I'm very happy that it was my left and not my right. It takes a long time to warm up, so I just have to do that. I feel alright generally, it's just that.
Second half will get underway here. We'll see what Storm have managed to have a little chat about in that halftime team talk. See if it proves dividends. One for on trade. Start the set off. Oh, a lovely leap there. Over the 2-ball release of Storm. Gives Storm possession of 4 balls. But still releasing 2 players in the middle, but again, Storm unsuccessful on connecting with those hits. I think realistically, for Storm to come back in this game, they need to be a bit more clinical, just like that, as they do take out Lauren Hems. If they continue to keep up the accuracy in this second half, then, they can look to bring back this, bring back this game. Again, Sheriff's giving away 4 balls here. A second 2-ball release not working in this second half. Great honesty from Emily Walker there. She makes a nice little catch, but does inform the referees and Storm that she was hit first. But the catch will not count. Storm definitely looking better so far in this second half. Early days though, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can keep it up. Storm looking much stronger now. 3-player advantage against Sheriff, so only 45 seconds remaining in this set. second half of the second set here. If Storm can look as strong as they did in that first set, then we're looking for a much more intense match in this second half. The deficit only 2 sets now in favour of Sheriffs. And lovely blocking from the Sheriff wingers there. Good pressure from Lauren Helms and Emily Walker there. Staying high up on that court. Make sure Storm can't go for anything. Again, Sheriff's in possession of 4 balls. A nice delay throw there from Sheriff's, but Smith successful in dodging both balls. And she now does take control of that left wing. Gets the call in. Oh, and a lovely 2-ball release there. They will take the hit. And then great dodging as well from number 18. And yeah, again, in the second set, Storm looking much more clinical, much more accurate on a lot of their throws. Oh, Tara Jones looks to go for a little fish there, decides it's best not to. The 2-player advantage, you definitely don't need to force the catch in that situation. But she can force a nice hit. She does take out Rose. Then dodges the running counter by Lauren Helms. Sheriff's going to look for the 2-ball running counter. Oh, and a lovely shot from Helms on the feet there. Only 5 seconds remaining. They don't get a hit. Jones does take out Helms, and Storm will take another set. Some big celebrations from Storm there. Crucial set to win, keeping the momentum going as we head deeper into the second half, and the deficit is reduced to just 1 set now between the 2 teams. And a timeout has been called. I believe that will be a Sheriff's timeout. Try and stop the bleeding there before it goes too far. And we are back away after Sheriff's timeout. We'll see how helpful it will be for them. Oh, Cross-court single there. Doesn't quite connect on the feet of Smith. But a nice attempt from Sheriffs. I don't think you can hear on stream, but Christian music is being played. Nice to hear people getting in the spirit. This is our final league meet of the year. Final British Dodgeball event of the year as well. So it looks set to be a nice day. With some big matches across all the meets. All the leagues, sorry. Nice jumping block there from Lauren Hems, staying alive and giving Sheriff's possession of 4 balls. Be crucial to get at least one hit here. But unsuccessful. Smith dodging to the left side of the court there nicely. Jones with a lovely hit though. Bringing both sides to just 5 players. Oh, that didn't quite look secured in my opinion. It's slightly bobbled. Yeah, and unsurprisingly, referees will call a timeout there just to discuss whether it was a hit, whether the catch from Jones was secured or not. No catch, hit called. I personally would agree with that as well. Wasn't quite fully secured, did bobble around next to her right shoulder as she was hit on the leg by the second ball. Nicely handled by head ref Sam Mason there. Sam Mason, a very experienced head ref, representing the UK on a large scale at the European Championships just this summer, as he refereed the men's final, I believe, between Northern Ireland Knights and England Lions, dealing with some very interesting situations that happen on court. So Women's Super League is definitely in good hands this month. Whatever Sheriffs said in their timeout has clearly worked, as they are 3 players up on Storm. Storm only 2 players remaining with only 20 seconds remaining. Looks like they might truly have broken the momentum of Storm in the second half. Storm, Oshima will look for a catch here. Fortunately, they don't take one. I believe that will be the end of the set. Sheriffs will increase their advantage again to 2 sets. 10-6 with roughly 5 minutes remaining in the second half. Storm, hopefully they can shake it off. It's just 1 set. They can keep the improvements they have made so far in the second half. Set timer a little bit out there. We'll be about 5 seconds out. Lauren Hems attempting the cross-court single this time. Jones won't fall for it. Nice block from Jones. And a nice running counter on Rich. Running past the standing throw. A lovely catching out from Sheriffs there, bringing Emily Walker back onto court and giving Sheriffs the advantage by 1. really tried to force it there to get the hit, but unfortunately they couldn't get it. And they have given Sheriff's possession of all the balls. And Sheriff's released all 4, but do not connect. Don't get a single hit. About 1 minute left in this set. Catching out on Rose, brings Rich back onto court. Again, Sheriffs will take these catching outs all day. Jones fishes a little bit there. She's frustrated with herself. Ex-Rangers player Meg Shine, currently in a 1v2. Only about 20 seconds remaining. Will she go for a standing counter? She will. She looks for the catch, but Sheriff's very smartly putting both balls to her side. 10 seconds remaining. She goes for the throw. Again, smart from Sheriff's. Choose not to throw. Don't want to risk giving away a catch. And Sheriff's will take that set. Huge set for Sheriff's to win. Most likely putting it out of reach of Storm now. The Sheriffs have an advantage of 6 points, 3 sets, with only a minute 50 remaining. It is pretty much mathematically impossible for Storm to win this now. But they can try and decrease the set difference by as much as possible. At the end of the season, set difference can make a huge difference. Bounce there. Emily Walker staying alive from the 2-ball counter. It also gives Sheriff's possession of 4 balls. Storm were desperate to get the hit, and unfortunately they do not take it. And I assume now will get hit themselves. Standing counter doesn't connect. Play ball called. Sheriffs go with 4. Sheriffs go with 3, sorry. Storm stay alive. Less than a minute now. Storm still looking to get this hit. Currently down by 1 player in this set. Hit first called. Jana Lee will go out. Fortunately for Storm, although they did look really good coming into the second half in those first 2 sets, that timeout from Sheriffs and then the immediate win has really affected Storm here, really slowed down the momentum. And Sheriff's looking much stronger now. Much more clinical in every way. Storm need a couple hits here quick. Try and throw through the block, but unsuccessfully. Again, giving away possession of all the balls. Desperation does not lead to success. And Sheriffs will fake. And the final whistle will go. And Sheriffs will take the game at 14-6. Lovely game to start the day. Overall, I think Nottingham Sheriffs looked really strong and really composed there against London Storm. I'll be really happy with that as they look forward to their second game later on this morning. And I believe over on court 1, Bedford Mighty Eagles did keep their advantage and did take the victory over Stafford Raptors. Shortly, we will be back for game 2, which is London Storm 2 against Manchester Queen Bees. Later on today, starting at 1:15, the Men's Super League, and then at 5 o'clock, we will have the Men's League 1 as well, all on court 2. So stay tuned as we are back soon for Storm 2 against Manchester Queen Bees. Welcome back for match 2 of the Women's Super League. Now have the second team of London Storm, and they face off against Manchester Queen Bees. Again, my name is Alex Such, and I'm now joined by Sam Ward of Nottingham Sheriffs.
Hello listeners, welcome back. Here again.
London Storm in the black and white closest to us at the moment, with Manchester Bees in their new kit, predominantly black kit, at the back of the court. So obviously, your women just won their first game. Morning.
Yeah.
Good showing from them.
Yeah, we did well. It's an entertaining game. Both teams playing quite an aggressive multi-ball volley kind of style. Was led itself to quite a high tempo, changing game. Expecting fairly similar here, having watched our girls play against Storm 2 last time out. Storm 2 very much singing for the same hymn sheet as the ones. Expecting them to, have a very potent throwing threat. Bees only have 6 today, so whether having a couple of extra arms in the back for Storm might be of use later in the game.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And obviously, Bees are, this season, I don't necessarily know if struggling, but definitely missing 2 key players from last season in Emily Walker and Zoe Wells.
But even like they're obviously both fast players, but even just like disruption of a squad within
never easy.
It's an effect that you really feel, and I think that probably goes through additions as well as detractions from the squads as well. Just the fact that your team is slightly more of an unknown quantity than what it was last time around could often be pretty detrimental. Be interesting to see with this being, I think this is the second instance where Bees have lined up without either of Wells or Walker on the roster.
Yes.
Yeah, so whether they'll have been able to, right the wrongs of last time, we shall see. I think one of the better opportunities to get off the mark against Storm 2 who are bottom of the table. But here we go. Game underway. Storm win in the middle. Katie Howard beating Kath Payne, her fellow Welshwoman.
Cuba release unsuccessful, immediately giving Queen Bees possession of 4 balls. Older Storms come right out the gates with a 2-ball release. Often you see teams, trying to settle in with just a couple singles, not give away too much possession early, but...
Kath Payne takes her revenge on Katie Howard for winning by... Yes, I get Storm 2's initial 2-ball attack on Cheska McCarthy, a fairly player on the right wing for Bees today, as she makes a bit of a hash of that fake and is punished very effectively on that left wing. Especially with no Faye Woodall here today for Bees. Their kind of main wing pairing isn't here either, so McCarthy's probably going to have to do a fair amount of the heavy lifting on the left wing. I expect her to come under some heavy fire over the course. Christy Park tests out Ali Lumley.
Minute and 20 gone in this set. One with the on-player advantage at the... Dimpy Origin, though, will increase that deficit. Unsuccessfully. Oh!
She'll want that one back, Heather Ward.
Yeah. Fortunate, unable to take that catch there after the post standing from the left wing.
Unfortunately, loss of control from Becky Davis. Christy Park goes for the punish on Ali Lumley and can't quite make it. Nice delay throw again from Lumley, takes out Kath Payne. 5-on-1 from a... 4-on-1. That's a nice hit. Not much time left. It's gonna need a catch at some point, really, to get this underway. Clinical multiple punish from Storm 2. Take the first set.
And immediately a nice little bit of hype and celebration for Storm. Be quite important, especially in these early morning games, I find that, it's getting that hype in and that energy early is really crucial to sort of taking, especially in the first half. sort of keeping that momentum, keeping that energy there, make sure everyone's awake.
Even then, I noticed when I was box for our girls in just now. You can't see it on the stream, but there's no men's league 3 occurring at the moment. So there's just 2 empty courts on the left hand side, and as a result, it sounds like a vacuum in here. If there's no real energy on court. Luckily, we seem to have it absolutely in spades so far.
Oh, what a great catch!
He made that look easy. It was anything but. That wasn't a bad stand encounter from.
No, it was like nice and low, well timed, just a perfect catch.
She thought about that one.
Yeah, Vic Hine looked for it. There's always those ones where you think, realistically, had I just committed to that, I would have got it.
Yeah.
But it's that slight moment of hesitation.
Yeah. By the time you second guess yourself,
the moment's gone.
You're always taking risks.
An exchange of throws there, but non-connecting.
After a bit of multi-ball exchanges from the last game, both teams electing to play a lot more of a single ball exchange. Both teams trying to play with 2 balls rather than 3. Lends itself to a bit more of a cagey affair, with both teams trying to offset their opponent's counters and take some slightly more speculative shots.
And Award is successful on taking the catch that time, though.
I said she want that one back. She basically got a carbon copy this time around. B's now 2 plays up in this. Ooh. All five in hand for Storm.
Yeah, great lead there from the right wing of Storm.
Perth are doing well to call off that counter, realising they got 5 balls. They could have probably been 2 balls off at that player, but they would have been left with 3 balls
They
in hand.
released 4. Oh, sorry, just the 3?
No, 4, I think.
Oh, it was 2 balls in hand.
Yeah. In any case, it's now level. Yeah, good. Yeah, a decision very well vindicated from Storm to be set with the 5 balls.
Yeah.
Getting 2 hits off the attack roll than the one they would have got.
Fortunate, she does dodge 2 balls really nicely, but the third, the slight delay, just take her out on her way down.
Delay thrown doing very well to track. It was a fairly big dodge, Blanchard.
Yeah.
But yeah, the delay ball from Kath Payne doing well to track her all the way. No position to catch it, and she's only 1 player down for Storm 2, although 4 balls in hand for Bees. Not long left in this set.
Oh, and a lovely toe shot there onto Kath Payne.
A little smile as she walks off. She appreciates that one.
And an equally as good dodge. Dodges all 3 balls there. And a majority of possession to Storm. Yeah, with about 10 seconds remaining in the set.
The set here isn't terrible. Still up in the game.
Ooh, and it will be a point apiece.
Yeah, it's a smart decision from Bees. There wasn't going to be any time left for Storm to capitalise on having the 5 balls, so you may as well throw in a double pre-throw. Like you make the hit, you win the set.
And even if you don't, Storm can't retaliate to make you lose the set.
Exactly. So we are 3-1. Kath Payne does win the middle ball this time. Yeah, KG opening, single ball release, ball holder. Not much happening with that.
Aggressive 2-ball release and running counter, unsuccessful. Katie Howard blocking the 1 ball, sails over her.
Yeah, a bit of a risk from Bees there. In the face of only a single ball release, electing to go for a double running counter is a surefire way to throw away possession. Great heads-up play on the from the free throw. Katie Howard ducks in the middle, and then it's a very nice catch at the back.
Yeah.
Saw it late. Ooh. There's an awful lot going on here. Tamara Herfer sees out Becky Davis.
Yeah, with a lovely post shot there.
Yeah, the exchange plays really favouring Storm in this set. It's 6-2, and feel like we've only just got going.
Yeah, only a minute in. I'm a massive fan of when players kind of like jog to the outbox. Nice, lovely catch from Katie Howard there. Just sort of, for me, it's you're keeping the energy up. It's positivity, and it's that, you know what, I may as well run to the outbox. My teammate's going to catch you back in.
Yeah.
It's more positive, and I think it sends a stronger message to your team as well, rather than slowly and depressingly walk into the outbox.
I think a lot when teams have some negative traits that kind of spark a bit of almost like a
Domino
like
effect.
like a powder
Anyway.
keg type thing.
Yeah.
It only takes one little thing to. But you know, like sometimes there's a like a very like minimal little thing. It might be someone just like, I don't know, just like, you know, slapping themselves on the head for dropping a catch or whatever it might be. But yeah, the general positive energy from Storm has been. I mean, but I'd say that to both Storms.
Yeah.
Storm won even in our game, even in face of the game not going as it was hoped. Yeah, it's still a thoroughly positive place to be on court, and you know, paying dividends for Storm 2 here today. Line fault from, I don't know, 87%. Yeah, sub for Storm, so I think they've exchanged Katie Howard off 8.
Yeah.
Is that who?
I haven't got my glasses on, so I'm not going to lie. I'm struggling a bit. Thank you. Ian Barrett helping us out there.
Fact checker Barrett helping us out in the background.
Yeah, I think something that so obviously London Storm as a club and as their women's teams have gone under a lot of changes so far this season. A lot of injuries and a lot of players moving to different clubs. I think something that's really been helping the 2 women's teams that they do have. A great catch there to just interrupt myself.
The failed block resulting in even better second prize of a catch.
They feel the worst. When you throw those, they feel the worst.
Oh, man. What more can you do?
But I think something that really helps with their positivity is that these 2 teams, they've played together a lot. These girls have played together a lot, and it both helps them sort of as a team, just in terms of how they play together, but in keeping that energy high, you know, they're friends, they play together a lot, they know how each other works, and it just really helps, you know, with that morale and that high energy and enjoyment on court.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you're a club rather than a team at the end of the day, and you know, when you know, even like mid-season or like over the course of the off-season, whenever individual teams go through changes, there's always like a, you know, the fact that I said it before, of like both Storm teams playing a very similar style, it lends itself very well to them being very resilient in terms of changes in personnel. Case in point there, where a 3-ball attack from Bees results in a catch and out.
And then another hit.
The post standing from the right winger takes out Payne as well.
Oh! Very nearly a double catch, but a catch and out is called.
Yep, I believe so. Yeah, well, the players re-entered the court, so catch is called. I think Hannah Ward's ball was the one that was caught, and she was also hit out by the free throw anyway. So Ward's out. Storm's still back up to 5 players.
Yeah, another set of Storm looking really, really strong. A 4-player advantage.
Probably didn't touch on it to start with, of quite how big this game would be in the scope of Storm's, really.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably a better team than what their position in the table looks to be, and this is a real showcase of that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so far they've, you know, lost all 6 games in at bottom with a minus, I think, 62 set difference.
Yeah.
But so far they're looking really strong in this game against what has been known to be quite a strong beast.
I mean, we mentioned before around the changes that Bees had, but this is a Bees team that beat Storm once earlier. Like it's a funny old game. Yeah, I think Bees taking their time out.
Yeah, good time to do it. There's going to be at least 2 more sets, and realistically, you don't want to wait until half time. If you let it keep going and it goes to 11-1, that's a huge deficit to try and bring back. So I think it's a good time to take the timeout now.
What happened? It might be just a stoppage of time from the rest match somewhere. Anyway, nearly back underway. You don't see very much in the women.
No. They usually tend to try and settle for a reset with 3 balls, and I assume that has something to do with the fact that the women's players are often really good at catching. So seeing as a lot of the players will already be at the back of the court, you don't want to try and rush up and throw away a single ball just to be caught. Good
punishment Tamara Hoofer on Becky Davis. results in giving away 4 balls, but yeah, ending up 1 up on the track.
That realistically,
He had no right
to go for
that.
it. A massive fish, but a great catch there.
Hands of.
Yeah. Although unfortunately unsuccessful on a single throw.
We can't have everything.
No.
She'll still be very happy in being 2.
Staying alive nicely though against the 2 back.
He's starting to go for a lot more of those 2 balls.
Yeah,
got a hit on the first one, threw a catch on the second one.
Oh, a great catch from Hannah Ward.
Nice catch from Hannah Ward.
Yeah, I think releasing more balls because they're just maybe desperate to actually get the hit.
It was worth changing something, I think. Like they're
true.
Being a bit more conservative and disciplined with ball possession wasn't really working for.
Yeah, so go aggressive, turn the heat up a bit, try and take out the wingers.
Yeah.
Also reduce the amount that Storm can encounter.
Feel free to fish your baguettes from underneath the commentary desk.
I have just dropped my food onto the...
Yeah. Merry Christmas to Alex Such as well.
Very sad there.
In amongst all of that, Storm ended up with only 1 ball. 3 ball attack. 3 ball attack takes out Blanchard, and the post reply takes out.
Yeah, I mean clearly this time it has worked. He's currently 2 players up on Storm.
Yeah, an important set for Bees to win this one.
Yeah.
I really say that it's still a 1-catch game, and Storm have been taking some absolute corkers. This good like timing and aggression on the 3 ball attack though.
Yeah, no chance at a catch there for Storm.
Yeah, it brings it out of a 1-catch game, 1-catch set now. Oh, although I feel like it should have been there. It wasn't the safest single from Ward, but
Especially
not
with
able to
the catches that Storm have been taking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of the ones they have been taking, he's spent that one to stick. That said, not that much time left in the game. Even if 1 catch had been thrown, then Storm would have still been down in the set. So, in any case, by hook or by crook, Bees now find themselves 3-7 down rather than 9-1, which I think could have spelt curtains almost this early.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this 1-minute set now to end this half. Realistically, often
This
1-minute
is massive,
sets. Yeah,
really.
They can get 1-minute sets can swing either way. Realistically.
Yeah.
You see it happen all the time. It could be the first set a team wins in the half. It's just the way 1-minute sets work. But if Bees can win this, it'll be huge heading into the second half.
Yeah.
It's be a 1-set deficit.
Yeah. The flip side is if Storm take this, they find themselves 9-3 up at half. They're probably in the mindset that if they take any sets in the second half, then they probably at least tie the game, realistically. And they went on the way to this one, the double counter taken out behind. Yeah, Storm playing it. Storm taking a leaf out of Bees book and going a bit more conservative now, trying to limit the countering opportunity.
Not long left, 15 seconds. Storm 1 up. Bees are going to have to look for something here.
Yeah, realistically,
With
need
3
a hit
balls,
from
they
this
release
one.
2. They take
one.
the hit. Storm on a 2-ball counter, only release 1. And she is out on a line fault.
Oh, that's...
So Bees will take the set. A huge win at the end of that half for Bees.
Defeat from the jaws of victory a little bit from Storm, that one. Yeah, wow. That changes the complexion of the game. That one volley. Storm going from 1 player up to 1 player down. As the last action of the half.
Even just a line fault.
Yeah.
If you drew that set,
Unfortunately.
Storm would have been happy with that, realistically. But the unfortunate line fault gives Bees the win. In that set, at least, sorry.
It's, yeah, I mean, like, equally, if you offered Storm, if at the start of the game, if you offered Storm to be up at the half, they'd have probably bitten your hand off for that. But, yeah, as it stands, Storm up in the game, Bees up with the momentum. I think it's probably fair to say.
My equipment's attacking me. But now,
Yeah,
just a 1-set difference in this game.
Yeah,
So
that's probably
should
changed both team talks very, very much. I would have thought.
Yeah. Make for an exciting second half, though.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's the first couple of sets will define the complexion of this game an awful lot.
Yeah.
You feel like if bees win this set, then they'll come into this having won 3 games on the bounce with some momentum that's really, really hard to stifle. The flip side is that if Storm win this first set out the gates, then bees are on their last life almost. They can't really afford to lose any more sets if they want to get anything out of the game. I mean, if all sets go to time, then yes, then the best they would do is 11-all draw if they go. Yeah, this match finally in the balance is not what it looked like it was going to be to start with.
Oh yeah, Storm looked really, really strong for the majority of that first half. I should say that that final set going in Bees' favour only just by 1 play and by a line fall. But Storm, obviously still in the lead, and not like Bees are going to win every single set from here on out. Sure, Storm are going to probably be very positive in their team talk right now. Thinking, you know what, we've been strong all set. Yeah, Bees came out good from their timeout, but overall we're still ahead, and we remain that way.
It's a real test of mental resolve, how much you can kind of put the effects of a 1-minute set out of your mind, because you need to just remind yourself that those things really are a lottery. Like you can be the better team over 14 minutes, and then you just get sucker punched at the end of a half. Like it happens to the best and worst of teams. It's a real test of mental resolve to see how well they can put that out of their head. If they can rectify things with this first set, then they'll feel like they've really got this. A really critical first couple of sets coming right up. Here we go.
Yeah, the start of this second half, and Storm will win the middle ball. They release 2 or just go for the single ball. Single ball release and an aggressive running counter.
Yeah, nice heads up play. So a lot happened there. So the after throw gets a deflection hit. The deflection is caught by Tamara Hofer. Jessica McCarthy throws a cover to try and prevent the catching opportunity, and gets a double hit on 2 other players.
Somehow, even though Storm make a catch, Bees find themselves 1 player up.
Nice dodging from Ali Lumley. Wasn't a bad 2-ball attack from Bees. Both good timing, but good dodging from Storm. 4 balls in hand now.
Great dodging there from the left wing.
Yeah, likewise.
Becky Davies staying alive really well.
Big movements.
Yeah. Strong throw. Didn't quite connect, but good power there. He's going with the fakes. Storm don't bite.
Not the most coordinated counters from Storm, unfortunately.
No, both communication a bit off there.
Yeah, they both had the right idea in terms of just like being aggressive and going up for the countering, because Bees were never going to give them possession for free. Both going up and both being aggressive to try and secure a countering hit is one thing, but then the two single ball releases at different targets was a little lackluster. Not punished for it though with the 4-ball attack. Storm still only 1 player down. 2 balls don't find McCarthy. 4 balls again in the hands of B.
They were already with 1 player advantage. They'll look to push that even further. They throw on ball, try and go through the block, but unfortunately all 3 balls do. Mara Hoofer going low, and works out well for her. You
can understand B's decision to go for a ball holder there.
Yeah, take out a strong winger, and while still getting a hit, and take away any chance of Storm going for a counter.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Big Hind doing well to trade herself with Hoofer. Yeah, the trade benefiting the team both who only had 1 ball. Realistically, a trade was the best you could probably do, and probably also the team that's also up in players. The more you trade, the better it gets.
Yeah.
McCarthy throws a bit of a gift, unfortunately. Yeah, the pre-throw disrupts the throwing timing a little bit. Payne's ball goes a little bit early, and McCarthy's goes a little bit late. Yeah, she picks a late one, and yeah, it's a real gift.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I find sometimes there, say if I have been delayed in my throw. Oh, Oh, and another great catch.
That is a big heads-up play. The free throw takes out Ward, and the attempted after throw.
As Storm take the first set.
Wow.
Of the second half.
Yeah, they whatever their team talk was, and whether it's sharpen up in the last 5 seconds of games, they sure did that there. Yeah, that was that's a really critical moment in this game. 9-5 now to Storm 2.
And as you could see at the end of that set when they took it, energy levels high. Storm keeping the energy levels high, keeping the morale high, keeping the momentum there.
Yeah, tough pill for Bees to swallow there.
Yeah. Great catching from Storm.
Yeah.
Increases their advantage back to 2 sets as we are now 9-5. Still
Yes.
plenty of time for Bees to win this.
Yeah, still work to be done for Storm.
Oh, McCarthy drops a ball whilst running backwards there and gets hit on the shoulder. Not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know whether, conscious decision to try and secure catches because they're really struggling to hit Storm now. Storm playing with some real intensity now.
Whilst an aggressive, powerful post-standing counter, it's just too central. And for a player that's already made a few catches, it's just a bit too easy.
Yeah, Bees pulling out all the stops to try and secure these hits. Throwing down to one ball isn't something we've really seen do very much. But electing to do it there to secure a hit on a middle player. Still 2 players down, albeit with a fair bit of time left in the set. But yeah, Storm can play a little bit with off. That's a board error.
And Sam Mason will call it as a ball retrieval error.
Yep. Unfortunate, yeah. One of the problems with retrievers trying to get the balls on court quickly. Good pressure from Storm, forcing the player to not take their eyes off the 5 balls on court. 5 balls in the hands of Storm.
They do take out Hannah Ward.
Probably a smart decision. Electing to throw 4 balls because it's not the biggest problem in the world to throw away 4 balls onto 2 players.
Play 4 had been called as well.
Oh, fair enough. Even more of a smart decision.
And realistically, throwing at Hannah Ward there, smart decision. I think out of the 3 players remaining for Bees there, I'm probably correct, I think, in saying that Hannah Ward probably one of their strongest catches. So taking out that player reduces the chance of Bees coming into that set at all.
Bees now take their time out. So it was the I think the stoppage earlier in the game was a ref stoppage for one reason or another. Well, I said the first couple of sets in the second half were going to be pretty defining in terms of what the rest of the game looks like. Storm have been real hot out the gates. You just see their team talk just like all massive positivity energy. It paints a real juxtaposition against the Bees team talk looking.
Yeah, they're over there dancing, keeping moving, whereas over here all a little bit more static. A
little bit deflated. Yeah, you can tell even late in that set when it was all going pretty south that the kind of activity on court was all a little static and devoid of energy. We said that playing in St George's Park can sometimes feel like the loneliest place in the world to play. If things aren't going your way, it can sometimes feel like just playing in a bit of a vacuum. Bees really need to dig deep to try and find something out of this game. We stand with about 9 minutes left of the half. Both teams know that if all 3 sets go to time, then Storm get at least a draw out of the game. The way Storm are playing, they'll want more. They think they really want to take Bees by the jugular. Take one of the next couple of sets and just make sure that the hard work's done.
Realistically, I think they deserve to. So far, I think London Storm 2 deserve this win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the scoreline is a pretty fair reflection of the way the game's gone. I think Bees snatched a set in the first half. Storm snatched a set in the second half. I think, generally speaking, it's a pretty fair reflection of how the game's gone.
Yeah.
Yep, Storm again, trying out the quick start. They get the ball back. Yeah, Storm's starting to go a little bit more, a little bit milder with their aggression. But
Ball pops up, and Award unfortunately
yeah.
can't take the catch, and will go out for a line fall and a hit.
Yeah, it's it was a good covering throw in there from Storm as well to try and prevent Ward from taking the catch. Also takes out Hind as a consolation prize. A good heads-up play from Storm to make sure that Ward can't secure the catch. Good attempt at an attempt at a trade from McCarthy is unsuccessful. Well executed from Storm to both even go in for that trade. So the trades benefit Storm at this point. But Bees really need to start taking some risks, so you can understand they're going for it. Just not successful this time. 2 players down. Storm holding all the aces here a little bit. 2 ball attacks successful. Kane is punished though. Dots in a trade and 4 balls in the hands of Storm. Park and Davis left in.
He's going to look for a catch now.
Good discipline from Storm. Knew the pre-throw was coming.
Thank you, Davis. Can't take one though.
Decent timing from Storm, if a little sporadic with their accuracy.
Evan Park left with a lot to do now.
Yeah. Balls in the hands of the retrievers. Interesting. Storm electing to hold both balls on one wing. Probably not. Don't want to worry about passing balls around when she's about to throw. Yeah, this could be a bit of a theme for the remainder of this set. Storm just elected to throw some fairly safe, sensible singles. Lasting the time in the set is absolutely in Storm's favour.
Yeah, 100%. I was about to say, I mean, if I was Storm, I would almost maybe even look not to end that as soon.
Yeah.
Tire out the Bees player. They haven't got any substitutes, and it just means there's less time for Bees to work with to try and bring the game back.
There's certainly an argument for that. I think, especially when you've got that much of a player advantage, then even if you throw an invalid attempt or something, you're still going to win the set. So, like, if you really wanted to go down that route, you probably could do it while still securing the win. As it transpires, Storm doing it the old-fashioned way, and yeah, just eliminating the player with the multiple attack.
I mean, realistically, at the end of the day, set difference could keep them, out of the relegation zone at the end of the season.
Yeah,
so
you mentioned
everyone
counts. You mentioned it at the start. I mean, like, Bees haven't lost this game yet, but it's certainly looking that way. And it then gets to the point where Bees might start looking a bit more, looking down in the table with a bit of trepidation after this. Bees having lost to Raptors last meet as well, who I think occupy the other relegation zone. Yeah, Bees really need to start thinking about where their next points are coming from. It's a sad reality of it. Yeah, one post throw too many at Bees hold. A big Hind at taking the catch. 2 ball attack on Herfer, can't quite find the mark. 2 blocks there.
And she will call for the hold. Recognises she has 4 balls. Sets for it. Gets the call in before play ball's called, so they only need at least 2, meaning has 2 in possession, and even 3 because he's through. Yeah,
dancing feet from Christy Park to go for the pre-throw and then dodging the majority attack.
Yeah. Honestly, I've been really impressed by the control from Tamara Hofer in this game so far.
Yeah, she's done really well. She, depths of experience.
Oh, and a lovely catch from Katie Howard. Catching out called.
Yeah, nice work. Good. It was a good 3-ball attack from Bees. Like, they tracked her fairly big movements fairly well.
Yeah.
Just a great catch. One fell right in the catching zone. Yeah, the 4-ball attack then takes out Hind and find themselves level in this set.
Good blocking from Storm.
Yeah, doing well to survive the 2 isolated counters from Bees, but yeah, again, probably not the best executed countering example shown there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it wasn't a bad decision to try and hold that for. They had 4 balls in hand.
Nice little catch.
A little at odds the Storm team there. I didn't know it was a little bit of panic because I think play ball had been called and a free throw came in. McCarthy doing well to track the last ball, the delay ball from Hertha. Storm 3 players down.
Only a
2
couple
players
seconds
down.
remaining.
Oh no, sorry, a block. Never mind. Ignore me.
And Bees will take their first set of the second half.
Too little, too late, potentially. Still 13-7 on the scoreline, and
Pretty much only 1 set remaining.
yeah, there's no chance you're going to get
Maybe 2 if you end it quickly.
Yeah, I think you'll do very well to get 3 sets in this time.
Yeah.
Certainly not the way that Storm have been surviving, although they very nearly started with 7 on court, which I'm not sure I've ever seen. That said, yeah, despite that, they do very well to send a very late runner for the 2 uncontested balls and survive the quick start from B.
Yeah, lovely leap from Katie Howard. He's being aggressive on that quick start, as you mentioned earlier. Needing the hit, so they're going early for them, but Katie Howard, nice little jump.
Nice 2-ball attack takes out Hertha. And a slightly sporadic 2-ball counter, both at the same time at different targets. Results in a fairly easy block for Park. He's a player up, 3 balls in hand. 2 balls again on the inside winger. Ooh, that's a sick
Really
one.
unfortunate there.
Yeah, that's you can forgive McCarthy for really wanting that one. Yeah, B's pulling out all the tricks here. Double running counter in the face of a single ball release, unsuccessful. And then there's a punish on the left-hand side. Becky Davis in the outbox.
And a great catch from
Double
Hines.
counter takes out Howard, and the catch from Hines, it goes completely over the heads of the Bees box.
Yeah.
All the players calling Kath Payne back in. Been some real fireworks in the set, and Bees need it to try and get going.
and there's
Kath
some
takes
more.
a catch. Right, there's a real
nice toe shot.
Great shot.
The bouncer. It's great to see Bees picking up the energy and making these
to defuse
catches.
this game. If they bring this set under a minute of time, then they know they've won the game. But they haven't. So realistically, probably still not enough. Bees need to reset this.
They've got less than a minute.
Yeah.
It might even be a 1-minute set if our time is slightly off.
Yeah.
The timeout called.
I'm not convinced. I mean,
117.
117. So I'm not convinced about that. I mean, with the momentum shift in the game, not a bad decision of the timeout. The fact that the timeout stops the 15-minute running clock means that when the ref calls line up, team ready, go, these will have a handful more seconds than if you just lined up properly. So, I mean, realistically, you'd probably back. You'd probably back your team to survive a minute and 17 seconds, given enough preparation and what have you. Flip side is that Bees have exactly the same amount of time to formulate a battle plan and go absolutely hell for leather. You can imagine it being, a very, you can imagine there being plenty of fireworks in the set because Bees are last chance saloon territory, but they have to start taking these risks.
Yeah, but I mean, as we saw in the first half, when we mentioned that only a minute had gone by when 4 players had been out for one side, so it's definitely possible.
It's doable. It certainly is doable.
I'll be interested to see if Bees choose to go for a quick start for an early hit. Sam Mason informed us that it is only 1 minute 17 remaining. Our time is slightly off. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Bees go for this quick start, or if they set with 3 and then try and control the set more that way.
They did well with the initial 2-ball attack last time around. It depends a lot on whether they win this. They don't.
Yeah, our timer about 15 seconds off.
Yeah, we'll do our best to keep you updated with the time from the ref.
Nice safe throw from Storm there. Nice dodge out the way and a block.
Yeah, it's fine. Possession in the hand of Storm here is massive. They can just afford to take a decent amount of time on this one.
Yeah, low.
Single ball at a ball
again.
holder. Single ball at a ball holder makes it so much harder to try and generate any kind of countering threat.
Yeah, but Bees go aggressive, go for a double release on the running counter. Really don't take the hit. And I think realistically now it's definitely too little too late. from that last set, and B's are
Yeah.
not going to be able to finish this set in time.
Yeah, Storm doing very well to. Oh,
And if anything,
no.
Kath Bain hit out, and Hannah Ward as well.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Storm down one player.
Block into 2 teammates.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Only about 20 seconds remaining, so it looks like not only will they not end the set,
Play ball on Storm.
Bees might also lose the set.
Dislodges the ball from Kate Howard. Free ball attack doesn't find Hind. There is a line fault though.
But a great catch from Storm.
That's a real settler. Yeah, if that had hit, that'd have been an entirely different last couple of seconds. But Storm's resolve tested out right to the very end. A 15-9 victory for Storm in the end.
Yeah, huge. London Storm 2's first ever win here this season. Puts them at 1 win to 6 losses, but a great win. It's not like they only just did it.
Start somewhere.
Yeah, huge win. And honestly, I think comfortable, confident win.
Yeah,
especially when you think B's got that 1 minute, won that 1 minute set at the end of the first half. But I think a really great showing from London Storm 2 there. And as the energy was high and morale was great the entire game. But this has been Alex Such and Sam Ward. We're going to have a short break, and then we are going to be back for Game 3 of the Women's Super League, which is Leamington Spartans against East Anglia Valkyries, where you'll be joined by our lovely hosts, Tim Day and Greg Whitehouse. See you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 3 of Women's Super League here at St George's Park. My name is Greg Whitehouse and I'm the wonderful dodgeballer.
Tim Day. Wow.
I was looking for more words.
Such a nice intro. I want to commentate with you more often.
I like to introduce you on talking. Yeah, exactly.
I like it. So this is a top of the table clash with Spartans sitting in second and Valkyries sitting in third. Both having only one loss so far, both to Derby Phantoms. So should be interesting to see who wins this one. I think both teams are struggling a little bit with injuries, so we'll see how that affects them.
I think the whole league is struggling with injuries, Tim. It's normally around that Christmas period. Some will always see. That timer has started now, so that timer a couple seconds out, but there or thereabouts, and we'll try and update you throughout the game. Game goes on 2 15-minute halves. Those 15-minute halves comprise of 3-minute sets. If at the end of the 3-minute set, a team isn't a clear winner, the team with the most amount of players left will be awarded those 2 set points.
Yeah, and there are draws in dodgeball, so if both teams have the same number of players on at the end of that 3 minutes, both teams get 1 point. So that's why everything's in a multiple of 2, because of that. That's a nice cross court there. Harry aware of it though and able to just block it away. So quite a slow start, I would say, by both teams here. I think Valkyries are normally a fairly slow team. They love to make those catches at the back of the court. But I think Spartans are going to be a bit annoyed that they haven't been able to make at least one hit.
It's a bit weird with Spartans. I think normally the first couple of sets in every game, be it women's or mixed, is always about assessing your team, especially when you get those team changes that happen a lot. Spartans, I know, have been working a lot on their slow game this year. What we saw a bit from the men's, obviously that coach in brackets, somewhat the same across the whole of Spartan. But they're normally quite erratic, quick style of players, but we've definitely started to see a tactic come out of them this year.
It's like control level that actually they're quick and I wouldn't even necessarily say erratic, but only when they need to be. They're a team that can up the pace but prefer to play a sensible speed and just slowly win by being the better team. And while we were chatting, that's a hit on either side. Amy Jones going out for Spartans and
Rebecca Bartolf going out for Valkyries.
Yeah, so still currently sitting even with less than a minute left. So a very slow-paced first game. Interesting to see who gets a win there. That's a nice cross court. The punish throw was there, but wasn't able to secure the hit. So Spartans going 1 player up.
And now left with 4 balls, and we know what they can do. They take out Lisa. It is a 1-for-1 trade, but a good trade on the side of Valkyries there. We know Lisa McMaster likes to sort of control that game from that left side, and we know how deadly she can be sort of in that women's dodgeball.
Oh. And Emily's someone who does very often take those catches at the back, so I think that was quite a surprising play by Spartans in my mind. They could have just reset, stopped, secured the win as they're already a player up, but they decide to go for the throw. They do get the hit, and they do win it 4 players to 2. So good work, just possibly not the tactics I would have expected to see.
Obviously coming out from Spartans, they take that middle ball use and a lovely shot from Amy Jones on the right side there. It's that Spartans middle ball tactic that we've seen, how deadly they can be from the start of that set.
It's another lovely in between pre and post throw there from Lisa, I think it was at the time. And the punish just didn't seem to be there. They weren't looking for it. Oh. And suddenly, after a whole first set where we were chatting about it being a little slow, suddenly both teams have decided to really up the pace here.
currently sitting 3 players apiece. Let's see what Spartans can do on the aggressive play.
Oh, Karen,
That is a glorious shot.
very nice throw from Karen Pickering. That low throw that left side. And as we say that, the return comes back from Valkyries.
Just tit for tat the whole way through this set. And I don't know if you heard that, but that's still 1:40 left, and we're down to only 3 players being on court. So this is a very quick pace, both teams. And normally you end up seeing it, if it does go down to a shorter than 3-minute set, it's because one team has dominated the set, so still has 4 or 5 players on. But it's quite rare to actually see so few players on court this early on.
And Emily Nichols will be looking for that single ball. Knows where they come in. He'll be tracking that single ball. And if Spartans do not throw together or at the same sort of timing, Emily Nichols will look at taking that catch.
Spartans just playing really sensibly though. They're just happy to throw a single, just making sure that they back their placement, that it's off the body, and that she's not able to make that catch. That's, I think, why you see Emily Nichols changing up her tactics slightly and going for that free throw there.
It's almost, a little toe shot there. Oh,
and one on the other side.
Yeah.
I think that was actually both players out by not getting a clean block down into the ground and just almost being a little lazy, but I don't think it necessarily is. I think it's just that not quite judging the ball right and just blocking it into their toes. So
the score currently Leamington Spartans 4, Valkyries. Obviously only 2 sets of goals. First one a very slow one. The second one, a very quick one. Obviously, it slowed down towards the end, but at the beginning of that set, like you said, they were 1 for 1 the whole way through. We got to that 1:40 mark, and it all slowed down on that. Sometimes those throws are always the hardest to judge. It doesn't always come at pace, but it somewhat floats in the air and sort of a sort of
deceptive way.
Yeah.
I think they're also, she just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Actually, she went up, she threw, she realised there was no return pressure, so it sort of backed off and was pretty much just jogging to the back. And then Valkyries went for the throw. That's not the normal tactic that people do, so I think it caught her off guard. Oh! That is a glorious snipe there. Lucy throwing the whole court, diagonal to diagonal, back line to back line, and getting a toe shot. And Karen getting called out there for the invalid. Very, very hard, but the rules are the rules.
Yeah.
Got free throw, had to duck under it, otherwise she would have been out for being hit. And because of that, wasn't able to throw properly, just spikes it into the ground and goes out because of it.
It's that forced movement, and that's why sort of those standing throws can be so dominant, because it almost makes the player pre-move before they're going to throw, and sometimes those throws, as we've just seen, aren't the cleanest.
Yeah, the other thing is even if they do get the throw off, a lot of the time it can just float into someone's chest because they can't get all that power behind it, they can't get the accuracy to flip people on the toes, so probably something we'll see a lot of in this game.
Balls on the side of Spartan.
I believe it's just... Yeah, there's two in hand for Valkyries, so... Quite an interesting play there. Both of those players are ones that you think be very happy to take a drop catch or anything like that if it all comes to them. Both throw at each other and both quite tempted to go for the catch and decide not to. So.
Just under 20. Only Rebecca Bartel fit out there. But Lucy Barrington, as she comes for that middle ball, As she comes to that middle ball, is then hit out. Too little too late for signal. And Valkyrie's smart at the end of that set. They decide not to throw. They don't need to throw at Big F, because if one's going to look at taking those catches in the middle, is going to be Harry Bignell. Especially at that close range, we've seen her around that zone picking up those catches before. So Valkyrie's very smart in that sort of essence of play.
Yeah, so Charlie Day there, with the ball in hand, just decided, actually, I don't need to do anything, despite the fact that Harry's faffing trying to get that ball. Just went, no, even if I go out, because you release at me, it doesn't mean anything. That's a nice catch there from Alex Barnes. Catching out Karen. Quite a few catches already, I think there's been. So, be interesting to see if either team needs to change up their tactics because of that, or actually if they're happy to. Oh, another one as well.
I think a bit of confusion, that catch from Rebecca Bartov. Not sure if the catch is made before a hit. I'm not sure if it's then like a catch and a block.
It's also when the ball is secured, because at least what I think may have happened is that the second one was a block, but catch may not have been secured first, but they call it as a catch and out.
I think it hits her arm. That was the call.
Yeah, not the hand on the ball, so doesn't count as a block.
Valkyrie's one player up. Obviously, if they'd had a player out, a player would have come in for that. No one obviously was out from the side of Valkyrie. Becky Harper maybe caught a little sleeping higher up court than she'd like to be.
Yeah, this Spartans team seems quite dejected almost, which is very weird. I mean, we're only 3 frames in, they've won 2 of them. So there's no reason to be dejected. Whether it's just a little bit of tiredness, they've not quite got themselves awake and ready for this game. Just a few plays you wouldn't expect.
Obviously, they are up 4-2. So, not playing their finest dodge. And I'm sure if they watch this back, they'll probably realise the same. Valkyries haven't been the greatest. All Spartans have taken advantage on those first couple of sets. Valkyries then took the last set, and current Valkyries looked like they could be taking this, kept that one player up. Only about 1 minute 15 to go.
Nice fake called there from Harry, baiting out the free throw, allowing them to set with minimal pressure in return, and they do get a hit. And Meg White forced off court there. Just tried to move her feet out the way of the throw, and because of that, wasn't set for the ball off the line afterwards. Just couldn't untangle her feet. And it looks like there's another ball there about whether a second ball hit Amy Jones, I believe. I expect it to be exactly the same call as happened for Valkyries earlier, that it's quite possibly a catch and out based on.
I think the catch and bounce was the call that is made. It's always hard to judge, that's why we have obviously those 2 centre refs and then those 4 line refs that make that judgment. They can't always get 100% correct. There's 5 balls in this game, 5 balls always to keep track of. Valkyrie's giving away those 4 balls, 3 balls.
Yeah, and so for anyone that's a little bit confused there, the refs called play 3 because Spartans had 4 balls and 3 players on court. They only had release 2. Harry, realising this because she was told by her box, realised she had to throw.
Throws at an out player.
Throws at a player that was already out, and because of that, does get called out. And I'm not entirely sure how long is left on the half here.
I'd say around 2 minutes. We'll go with around.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Becca Bartol shut down early on in this game. This time, obviously making sure she can't take those catches. We know what she does in the middle. She's great at picking those single balls out.
Yeah, it's quite surprising to see multiple balls released at middle players. Normally you rely on singles getting the middle players out, and you 2-ball attack wing players so that they block one and get hit by the other.
Emily Nichols drops her ball that she has in her hand, picks out the single from Lucy Barrington. Said we know what she can do in this game, and when she's looking at taking those, does just that. Very clever from him. Bates Barrington.
Yeah, Valkyrie's in a commanding position for this set, 2 players up. And I think that was either 55 seconds or 1:55, so just giving you a quick update on the time. 1-for-1 trade, all said and done there. Curran able to collect a ball and get a return hit, but did lose Amy Jones in the process.
A 3-ball attack. 3-ball attack at Emily Nichols there to try and eliminate her, but they don't. I think there's just a change.
Yeah, I think there's probably a little bit of water in the subs box. Someone spilt drink, something like that, so the balls are a little bit wet, and they're just then deciding whether the spare ball that they keep is better or worse.
But also might be damp balls.
Yes, I believe that is. And Neely putting a little bit of a shine on the ball. They expect to see this one swing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's quite the way
he has got some
dodgeball works, but
sandpaper into his pocket. I'm not sure what that's about. But they know there isn't long left in the set before the half, so Karen Picker pressured onto that to try and make.
Ooh. Charlie loses control of her ball at the front of the court, but they're still able to release and get a hit on Meg White. And trolling the time here.
And Valkyries do try and dodge everything. Becca Bartol is hitting the dying seconds, but Valkyries are still up 3-2. And obviously Valkyries then decide not to throw because they have 5 balls. That's fine by them. So, the half, Spartans only up 6.
Yeah, I think a fairly unsurprising tight game, but possibly a surprising way to get here. There's been a lot of wide difference in how the sets have been played, and I think neither team has really managed to fully settle into their tactics, and instead both of them seem to be drawn into each other's in sort of an alternating fashion. So I really feel that if one team settles into their own rhythm, that they're the team that is going to take this.
Yeah, I 100% agree, Tim, with you. I think, like you said, it's been so close. We saw how close those first 2 sets were. Obviously, Spartans both first sets, but they were so close. That first one took it just to the 3-minute time, and the second one very sort of rushed in essence, start of the set. Obviously, Valkyrie started to claw back at it, and obviously they've taken 4 set points now off Spartans. We're looking into that second half, 15 minutes left of this game, and like you said, the only team, should I say, that both of these teams have lost to are Derby Phantom. So they'll both be looking not to take a loss here.
I think that's most people's aims while playing is definitely minimise the amount of losses you have is always better. Yeah, so I think following the results of today would mean that whichever of these 2 teams in this, they're likely to then be up into second unless Derby end up dropping any points. So it's really important for them to secure this game in order to be in a better position to compete once the second round of fixtures come around, which I believe starts from next meet.
Yeah, it's like a mix of, isn't it?
The 50-50 meet where you reach halfway, but also play one team again. And we'll have little technical issues with the scoreboard here. I'm sure you can figure it out. We're just going to time it on our phones for the half time in case can't get it back up and running.
Keep everyone updated.
But we'll keep people informed.
Talking is our strong overlay.
And even if we don't, I'm sure the players on court will be well aware of exactly how long is left. Both teams having coaches in the box.
And I think that's something
time
that isn't spoke about enough. You know, that timer on the coach's clock is so important. It's those dying seconds. Sometimes the players are listening out for. You know, it's 5 seconds left. You don't need to throw at this point. The ball isn't going to get you're up in the set by lasting it out.
Yeah. Everyone always focuses on the 6 players that are on court, but actually retrievers and coaches make a huge difference to it. That's a really nice play there by Lisa. I really rate that sort of play. It was a double running counter, and what she did is rather than passively try and survive, she realised she was going to get hit by one of the 2 balls, so instead she takes a trade. By standing up and throwing at the player straight opposite her, she pretty much guarantees getting that hit in return for her going out herself, so makes it a far better result for her team. So really smart play there.
Oh, that throw so close. Oh, it is. It does. It nicks Amy Jones on the way through.
Yeah, very surprising release there, which I think is what got the hit. It's not Charlie's normal throw. I think it was just sort of a quick push throw, and because of that, Amy wasn't expecting it.
I certainly like that play. It's the one that, you know, you're sort of holding it, the track back. You know, Amy Jones has obviously planted her whole body into that. You know, so hard to dodge in that position. And obviously, Charlie Day obviously then does take that hit there. They're one player up after also taking out Becky Harper, and a nice dodge from Day. Deep in the middle, just avoiding the 2.
That's nice work there from Spartans, able to get a hit on the pre-throw and then able to dodge the 3-ball attack that followed. Lucy Barrington of Team Send It did decide to release very aggressively, but unable to even it up, which I think makes it 3 players apiece there.
That's fine. Just over 3 minutes is the half, so. Oh, and 5 balls given away.
Yeah, let's see how much punishment Spartans can do with this. I'm expecting 2 different targets to be chosen.
And they do just that.
They do that and get 2 hits from it. Very smart play. They do give Valkyries the option to return fire, giving them 4 balls, but still so worthwhile.
And a good hit from that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the 4 balls in now your pocket. You've now also got 3 back from that as well. So, they're 1 down, have got the advantage, but only the single ball.
I think a miscommunication there. Normally you would expect to see both players targeting the same player, making it a lot harder to dodge or make a catch because there's 2 balls coming at you. Instead, they both threw straight ahead.
Bit of a weird one there, because I think Alex Baines does block it into her knee, but it hasn't been called upon, and it's always the toughest one. When it blocks straight into your knee, unless you're looking straight for that, it's so hard to see.
It's very hard to tell. And you also, especially from our view behind, it's very hard to tell whether it's hit the ground first. So we know that it was blocked. We know, we're fairly sure that it has hit her knee, but actually it could have been blocked straight into the ground, bounced up, and then hit her knee afterwards. Things like that. So the refs, Sam Mason, obviously a very good ref, did just have a quick look around, check to see if any other refs trying to highlight that it was a play one way or the other. And
as now which hurts more from the side of Spartans. If you feel like Alex Baines should have been out earlier on, then get caught out by her is even worse. But catching out from Harry Bignor on that right side does bring back in Barrington.
And brings the teams even, but not for long at all. And I think Amy Jones was annoyed. She thought she got the hit on Lisa after the catch, but not the case. It often happens where when the game gets tight, people start getting annoyed at things that are going on.
And when you start getting annoyed, you don't throw at the best target. You don't always throw the best throw, and Amy Jones will be... I don't think she'll be annoyed at herself too much for that. Maybe some of the decisions that went on in that set. Obviously, as a player, you want every decision to go your way, and that's always the hardest thing to take. That not every decision is going to go your way. You know, not every hit is going to go your way. Refs might see something different because in your head, in your eyes, you're always seeing the hit first.
You're always seeing your positive result because that's what you're after. Whereas the refs are very good at remaining neutral. I think it used to be less so, where refs that are part of a club often ended up as the ref for that team, and you still do see it in opens. But I think as much as possible, they do try and arrange the schedule so that you're not reffing your own team. But obviously it's hard with the number of refs. And I think a trade there, Charlie for Amy, and then
Meg White goes for the catch. But
yeah, just not quite able to reach it. I think it just died a little bit before her and does go out for it. That's nice pressure there from Emily Nichols. Just stops Lucy from being able to allow that double running counter. Instead, it was then just a single ball thrown from the other wing. And again, she's just forced back. Valkyries have realised that she is a huge threat on that play. So they're just going, no, it's fine. We're going to stop you being able to throw. Granted, Spartans are able to convert it elsewhere, but
yet again, Rebecca Barself in that centre, multiple balls thrown at her.
And Sam very clearly calling it a catch and out.
But obviously, when they all throw together and at the same target at the same time, so hard to depict catch is made, what ball is caught.
Well, it's also actually whose ball gets caught. So not only whether it was a catch or not, but also which player is out for being caught. Where it's just all at the same time, you know you threw in that group of balls and you're not sure who it was. But I think they're able to sort it. They've got the extra ball back in play. So we're looking to carry this set. And I do believe our timer is fairly accurate for this set, so just under half frame left. And Valkyrie's currently one player up.
That catch that Rebecca Bartolf made was so clinical. The seeing is it from a 5-ball attack, a 4-ball attack from 5 balls to Spartans. obviously, take any positive result from that is huge.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. To not only make a catch, but then give your team the possession, leaving them with 4 balls, it's a massive play. And it's just a case now of Valkyries being able to capitalise this to take the lead for the first time this game, I believe.
Yep.
That is not over yet, though.
No.
So 25 seconds.
Able to get the hit on Alex Barnes there, and with Harry's follow-up as well, the ball had floated a little bit, but not able to do anything. Now, I think Lucy especially is starting to get in her own head a little bit. She's expecting things to be happening that aren't, and is getting annoyed. And indeed, Valkyries do end up taking that, so take the lead for the first time.
Timeout is called. The side of Spartans.
Yeah, I would expect so. Normally you take your timeouts when you're the team that's under extra pressure, to kill off momentum as much as it is to actually have a chat with your players, to force the other team to have to mentally reset and start again. So yeah, let's see what they can manage after this timeout.
I think it's been very close in the second half. Obviously, that momentum, I wouldn't say the momentum is Valkyries, but the edge certainly in terms of sort of how they've played. Like we said, each set going down to the wire. It's been a couple catches that have definitely changed the momentum of each set more.
I would almost say, rather than momentum being with Valkyries, it's momentum is not with Spartans.
It's sort of against them.
It's that mental attitude that they're currently in, and it's very easy to sort of spiral because of it, where they think they've got 1 or 2 hits that haven't been called, and off the back of that, they're getting annoyed and frustrated, and that's causing then further misplays, further things that they think has happened that hasn't, or maybe it has and it was missed by the refs, but you still just got to trust the process and go, okay, the ref's not called it, that's fine, we can carry on, we can just get them out again. Now, I believe it is just under 5 minutes left of the half, so 5 minutes and 4 seconds time. So off the back of that, we will get at least 2 frames. So either team's still well in contention to win it. And straight off the start, Spartans able to come up with 3. Very minimal pressure, but Alex able to just take the catch off Amy's ball. Whether that was just not ideal play by Amy or what, I don't know. Maybe that timeout wasn't as effective as it needed to be for them.
Spartans have now made a substitute. Lottie Millington at 6. He comes Becky Harper. And yet again, Valkyrie, probably their slight downfall, and it's not huge, but they've given away that 4 again. They're trying to take out Barrington. They know how much pressure is running up that side of the court.
Yeah, but Spartans not able to capitalise on it. They go for the 2-ball release, which is the most commonly seen attack play with 4 balls. And because of that timing, it was at the same time, so one duck causes them both to miss. And again, I think we're having the issue with the wet ball here on this court. Just when that ball is wet, it throws everything off about playing with that ball. The grip on it goes.
I think just the way the ball moves, because
yeah,
you know, aren't the heaviest. I'm not sure on the exact weight. I think someone does know the weight. I'm sure.
No doubt someone is aware of the weight the ball should be at.
Yeah, but you know that extra bit of weight just changes the way the ball as a whole, and you know, one of 5 key parts of this game.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sam very sensibly just stopping the game when the player was complaining about that. Confirms that, yeah, that ball is too badly wet to be able to play with, and gets a new one out. So he's just going to quickly pump this up while we... Now,
it sounds weird also, but you all know as that ball play, it already acts completely different to every other ball anyway. We're 3rd game in now in Women's League of the day as a whole. That new pump ball will just be very different. Right?
That slightly fresher ball just has a bit better grip, a little more zip out of the arms, so get those extra hits from it. And realise what the issue is. I do believe where the ball has come through the net, which you can't quite see but is on the bottom right, just outshot. It's knocked over someone's drink or similar, and the ball being able to get to that vicinity has just picked up that moisture and dirt, and is preventing this game from carrying on right now. So,
do you think it gives Spartan the edge here? Does it that slight mental? They had their time out anyway. Is it giving that extra bit? Is this the window in the game that they've been looking for? That
I think you're probably actually right there that this favours the Spartans team. It takes a long time for players to get refs' decisions out their head. So actually that going and giving more time for that to reset is far better.
I think the step time is at 1:07. Rebecca Bartol. Don't be throwing single balls there, Tim.
No, I think she was struggling with form a little bit at the end of last season and the beginning of this season, but she's clearly got it back. That's quite a lot of key catches as well, not just catches in general, but catches when it's a football attack. And commentator Curse strikes again as soon as we're praising her. Actually, she does get hit by a single, but
it's the mentality that so many players have, and it does always decide sort of their fate in the game. Becca has been catching this game. It's been so good for her this game, but sometimes it gives you that sort of worse edge that you think, oh, I can catch everything now. This time, unfortunately, doesn't catch Lucy Barrington.
Yeah, it's something you notice with a lot of players, that it actually is far more of a form-based thing than throwing, for example. So if you make one catch, suddenly there's a good chance you make another one. And as soon as you make one of those very nice catches where you've just plucked the ball out of the air, that's the point that you go, yeah, cool, I can catch anything that I want.
Here's it out in there. So Spartans now that evened it up. Only about 5 seconds left on the game. And a 1-for-1. And the draw. Valkyries cannot be disappointed about that. Obviously, maybe not the end of the set that they wanted. They would happily taken those 2-step points, but not the worst result. It keeps that 2-step point gap in between them and Spartans. One left on the clock.
Yeah, so our clock on the play is wrong. It is actually 1:40 at the start of it. 1:20 now. If Sam keeps this up, we don't even need it for any of the games. He's been very clear with the time left. And 1-for-1 trades. I think Amy, not sure whether the ball hit her toe or bounced first.
I think it came in so slow that I don't think she realised it actually hit her on the foot.
Yeah, just able to clarify with That is a glorious catch there. Basically cuddled right up to Lisa there in the corner and took a catch over her shoulder. So yeah, really nicely done.
Oh, but Karen
But
Pickering
on the
picks
flip
up the
side,
catch.
they do get a hit on Lottie at the same time. So ends up being a trade of some description. Popped up, but not able to get on top of it.
So Spartans only have that one ball in hand. It's in the hands of Amy Jones. Back on from the catch, but she makes the block.
Not able to convert the hit afterwards, which they very much needed. Do get the hit afterwards, though. So this is looking very much likely to be a draw. Although... So, all said and done, I do believe that is a draw, but Emily Nichols at the end going down injured there.
As we talk about both teams only losing one, Derby Phantoms, and this could have been a team's second loss. It ends in a draw. Too.
Yeah. We'll have to see how that's going to affect the table later. Obviously, I think both teams, looking back on it, are going to be happy and a little bit annoyed at that Spartans annoyed that they didn't convert their early pressure and control into more points early on to then get the win, all said and done. But also happy that actually they had lost their heads, they were losing it, and then they were able to bring it back. So, yeah.
But a good game all over. The next game, obviously game 4 on the Women's Super League, will be Phantoms versus Bees. Now it's bye from me, Tim, but you'll be staying here. You are staying, and Alex Such will be rejoining the booth.
Yeah, so we'll be joining you for that game very shortly. Hello and welcome back. We now have a lot of noise from the other court. We have Phantoms versus Bees here, and the game has just started. So, if you missed anything? I'm joined by Alex. Hello.
Hello, hello. I am back.
Saw you supporting your team there.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. Unfortunately, couldn't get the win, but they secured the draw in the end, so that was good. It was nice. Now we're back for Derby Phantoms, who are currently first in the leaderboard, up against Manchester Queen Bees, who lost their first game earlier this morning against London Storm 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught the game. It was actually a really good game.
Yeah, got the end of it. Not the ideal.
No.
They've been struggling a lot. They got two very strong wins at the beginning of the season against Sheriffs and Storm as their first 2 games. And after that game, they're now on 5 losses. So really not ideal from them. I think they're struggling to sort of find their footing. I think they did have a few players leave, which never helps. But yeah, haven't quite been able to figure out what they should be doing. And Derby, with only 1 draw so far against Storm and straight wins everywhere else, you expect this game to be almost whitewashy.
He's comfortable.
Yeah, but really it depends what this Bees team does, because they will be well aware that this Derby team is top of the league. So it takes a lot of the pressure off. Actually, they can just go out, you know what? Everyone expects us to lose. We're probably going to lose. So we can just do what we want, and worst case scenario is the result that everyone expects.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes all that pressure off.
Whereas often, I've seen it happen many times. It's happened to my team earlier this season, where the games where you're, realistically expecting to win, maybe, quite foolishly, and when that game starts going wrong, you go, why aren't we winning? Why aren't we winning? And instead of trying to fix the problem, you're just sort of angry at it, and not sort of looking at the solution, just looking at what's going wrong. If that makes sense, and
focus on the negatives rather than what you can do to change that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so that the game just gets away from you, you end up losing. And arguably, that could have been what happened this morning against Storm 2.
Yeah. That was a nice double wall hit there.
Great dodge from Maddie Smith. But
yeah.
As we've been discussing the 2 teams in their games, I mean, currently 4 apiece with less than 10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, very, very slow start. I thought the start in the previous frame was also slow, but this one ups it. And I do believe that was a hit after the whistle.
Yeah, so it will be one each.
Now, if the last match is anything to go by, suddenly we'll see. I believe it was only 3 players left on court at all halfway through this next frame. So it was a very drastic change of pace, but I'm not fully expecting to see that this time.
Yeah, last
Derby
set,
a very controlled team.
Yeah. And I think last set, Bees were matching that, starting slow, realising probably in the last one, getting out too quick. So, especially in this game, start slow, ease into the game, find your footing, and don't rush against a team which is top of the table.
Yeah.
Probably not going to go in your favour?
It's one of those ones, though, where sometimes actually that high-level pace catch that team that's expecting to win off guard and actually allow you to get quite a lot of points in. You really realise what you're even doing.
Trip them up a little bit.
Yeah. And that's a nice counter there.
Great shot from Phil.
Able to get the block, get away from it, and get the hit afterwards.
Not Phillips, April O'Brien. Phillips is just on the back of the top.
I do believe that is actually a name change because of marriage.
Yeah, never mind, I'm wrong again.
So, I'm managing to be wrong several times in very quick succession there.
Some things don't change.
And I do believe that is a congrats from the both of us, as I don't think either of us have said it.
No.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats to April.
Ooh.
She's been April has been a big part of the live streaming team so far this season, helping out massively behind the scenes and as an operator. So we thank her for her support and congratulations and well in her new marriage. I was mentioning earlier the Rangers agency were playing a bit of Christmas music this morning, which is quite nice to see people getting in the spirit, and Phantoms matching that. As you can see on stream, the Phantoms players have got sort of tinsel in their hair, which is nice to see. A little bit of Christmassy.
Yeah, it's that nice. It's a level where it's not going to affect the way they play or anything like that.
No,
but it just brings a little smile to people's
which
faces.
It helps keep things on court positive, a bit lighter. You know, often you see teams talking about it earlier with Storm. They're always high energy and it really benefits them. Whereas other teams, sometimes if you're a bit too serious, you're not enjoying yourself as much. You get bunged down on the negatives and you don't play as well.
Yeah, for sure. It is important to have the right mentality going in. Got to actually realise that even against a weaker opposition that you expect to win, there are still going to be points that you go out, not even necessarily through any fault of your own. Actually, if they get 3 balls and decide to release all 3, chances are you're not going to be able to get out of the way of them or make a catch or anything like that. So, another very slow game. This time, 1 player difference to the last frame, and that was 1 less player on Bs. So, Phantoms able to take the win in that frame. So, this what you expect to see throughout this whole game? Most of these are going to go to 3 minutes with most players left on court at the end?
Eventually, Phantoms do like to play a bit slower, and especially at the moment, you see playing very slow and rolled. But in a way, I'd almost think, whilst they are top of the table, that could easily change at some point. Spartans, although they drew earlier, hot on their tail. Mighty Eagles there as well. It's, I almost would think maybe you want to get some sets on the board to increase that set difference. Like we've seen it numerous times.
For the end of season.
Yeah, end of season, set difference. We've seen it happen a lot. It makes it different.
Yeah, and the other thing is even if it doesn't come down to set difference at the end, it still puts you in a better mentality that's like, oh, actually, even if we lose this game, they need to win by this many points to match our set difference. That it gives you that comfort blanket that allows you to play better.
One less thing to worry about.
Yeah. Early pre-throw there that Bees were able to just reset on. Not able to convert on the pre-throw there, but then Bree taking a trade there, which I think Derby are going to be fairly happy with. Actually, they gave them 4 balls. They had time to set with them. The outcome was a nothing outcome. Both teams losing a player. Sorry.
Nice post standing there. We'll take out Kath Payne.
Yeah, Hannah was there up and ready, but deciding not to throw the cover throw there after that release. Whether that's that worry about being caught, pretty much every player is always ready to be looking for that catch after a pre or post throw. They're aware that that's what teams like to do to punish it. So maybe that's a new sort of adaptation that Bees have used, but I'm not sure. Nice block in the middle, just keeping the tempo way the Derby team want to play it.
Yeah. Oh, but a nice hit from Hannah Ward there. It's a 1-player deficit now, with about 45 seconds left in this.
I think she wanted to counter so much that she
started moving a bit too early.
Forgot that you need to block the ball first, almost, and just almost thought she'd already blocked it away and just didn't quite get enough on it to clear away from her body. So, I think that was a bit of a lucky hit there by Hannah, able to hit April Phillips, who was behind, I believe, the intended target of Kirsty. So
Selby does get a great return, keeping that one-player advantage for Phantoms. Safe throws from Phantoms, not risking getting caught.
yeah, it's smart play. So for anyone that's not aware, you have to throw within a meter of the player. There, that player was previously stood up, and by dropping to the knees, they're still allowed to throw a meter of their height of where they were when the action of throwing was being taken. That's a meter above standing head height, so it looks really far above their head, like it was nowhere near the player, but actually it's still classed as a valid attempt. And Derby, just aware of that, able to go, no, we're not going to let you even chance the catch. A little bit of hype from the other court, where it is Storm 2 versus Raptors. I believe that is a bottom of the table clash, both 10th and respectively, I
10th
believe.
And 9th.
So, quite a lot of excitement going on over there.
Can't quite see the score, so can't quite update you fully, I'm afraid.
Oh,
A good return from Becky Davis there, though.
Yeah, interesting play. Did get the hit on Cheska McCarthy. Ball went up. The Derby team realised that they were going to be able to secure that catch, so released to prevent it. Got a hit from that. The ball ricocheted across court to then be caught, and while that was all going, Bree ended up being hit out by the opposite winger anyway. Yeah. So a lot going on.
Happened.
Refs able to make the right decision, make it correctly as well, which is always good to see. Keeps the game flowing and leading on, and left us with 5 players each. And just as I say that, these lose another. I believe that was a 2, if not attack, so quite hard to do anything about. Especially this Derby team, they're very accurate, they're very good at throwing together, and able to convert that into players up on court.
An invalid attempt. So, although Sylvia hasn't actually thrown the ball there, she's dropped her ball to look for the catch, and then her ball has rolled across the middle line. If she had made the catch, then it wouldn't, she would have been safe, it would have been fine, but because she didn't make the catch, her ball rolling across the line does count as an invalid attempt, and she is out.
Vic there just looking for that catch on that post throw.
Oh!
And
it's
instead,
not Vic that takes
it's not
it,
Vic.
but...
That's a lovely catch, just, it was slightly off the body as well, able to just step across to it and secure it.
But Kirsty Bloom as well, making a great catch.
Catches all over the place.
I think Maddie Smith also took one at the centre court there.
Yeah.
This set suddenly spiced up quite a bit.
Yeah, from that slow pace.
That's the catch, ball popped up.
Rebound catch off the hit, so able to
Only
beat
a
the
few
player in the
seconds
middle
left,
of the court and get a player back in. It's just a little too late, but wow, that game was not quite like the others that we've seen so far.
No, that was definitely a bit more lively, at least towards the end there. And although it went in favour of Phantoms with a couple catches at the end, looked better from. They definitely seemed like they were a lot more. They were more in that set, made a catch of their own, had some good hits.
And I believe our timer is at least fairly accurate for this. Very good ref, always making sure everyone's aware of everything that's going on, just yelling out the time occasionally. And pretty unluckily there.
Yeah, 1 minute remaining now.
Just went over the middle line when she was releasing. Does get called out for that.
So although technically this set could go to another set, I really don't see the set ending in 50 seconds time.
No, based off the previous sets, I think that's a fairly safe bet. But you never know. You never know.
No, and it could be a really good set. This, if these win this, it'll be a really good set to take into the second half.
Currently 7-1 down, so...
Great catch from Hannah Ward.
Lovely catch.
Yeah, Bees definitely coming more alive into this, at the end of this first half. Hope they can carry on into the second.
Yeah, you see it a lot. Once you made 1 or 2 catches, suddenly you get your eye in, you're like, yeah, you know what, I can make those catches. And it's then on the other team to realise that you are not only looking for catches, but making catches, and then have to play it further away from body. And I believe that was it after the whistle, giving the point to Bees. So, managing to
Increase that deficit a little bit.
yeah, and
7-3
that's
at
a
half
really
time.
important set to get, because suddenly there's really not much in it. 2 frames and you're back level. So, what do you think Bees need to keep doing? They did win that last set to draw this to level, or if not, a win for them in this second half.
I think typically, you can always argue, control possession more, but I think at the moment in the middle, they haven't always been staying alive as well as they could have been. Especially from post standings when they're backtracking even after throwing. Yeah. Although they made a couple, 2 catches, Becky Davis making a nice catch there and Hannah Ward in those last 2 sets. Overall, they've been getting out quite a lot from the. So I think if they can either make more of those catches or just in general stay alive through blocks or dodges, it will just mean they've got more players left in. It's not like they're all getting hit out. As we say, these sets are going all the way to the 3 minutes. It's just those small little moments where they are being hit out.
Yeah. I mean, Derby are probably, if you were to say double run and counter, the team you think of is Derby.
Yeah.
They were the team that took that tactic, really ran with it and made it their own. Like, actually, in my mind at least, it's other teams that have to come in with an answer to that double run and counter. Because if not, they're just going to keep doing it, keep getting players out, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So it is hard.
And the rest of the team stays alive so well through dodging that it's not even like you're getting a 1-for-1 trade of some sort. It's you're missing your throws and then just being hit out by the double running from Derby. Because obviously we're not playing wall to wall. Although there is a wall at the back over there and it's a net this side, that wall obviously is a bit of a gap. But when you're throwing those balls, if you're not getting the hit, you're losing those balls. Those balls are most likely not going to come back to you. So, Phantoms can afford to go on that double running counter and release both balls because they know they've got the balls behind them.
Yeah. I mean, I almost feel that Derby don't even mind if they don't get the possession afterwards, because by taking out that old player, normally the players with the ball end up being the biggest arms and all that. So you're taking one of them out, suddenly that's an arm less that they can send back at you with the balls that they've passed over. So, yeah, we shall see whether Bees are able to implement anything into this second half. And do get a quick start, but very sensibly blocks down to the...
As we say a lot of the time, the first set of the second half is always quite a key one for him in terms of momentum. And sets a bit of a tone for the second half. So I think, if Bees can win this, it'll definitely keep, lift their heads up a bit. But a lovely toe shot from Brie Darcy starts to put that into, take the hope away from that happening.
Yeah, I think that was almost the underside of her foot as she was moving back. So perfectly placed where it's not in a position where she's going to be able to make the catch and still gets the hit from it. So, yeah, beautiful play there.
Yeah, every time Phantom's looking for these counters, sure they'll take 3 balls, but they're not really fussed about setting for 3. They're going for the counters.
And I think that's also why you see this be such a slower paced game. Both teams don't want to ever release multiple balls, which will give the opposition the opportunity to do anything.
Looking behind there, moving it backwards a little bit too much, couldn't quite get forwards to make that catch.
I think Vic just sort of left her hand there, didn't really want to go for the catch, but actually had she gone for the catch, it would have been a catch there. So, and again, that
good exchanges in the middle there.
Lots of releases, but everyone being able to stay alive so well.
Only one hit from 4 or 5 releases there.
Yeah. are actually getting quite a crowd over on the left side of the screen watching this.
Yeah, a lot of Bees, a lot of Phantoms. I mean, realistically, two very big clubs with a lot of teams, so it is always great to see that, you know, the other teams come down to support, especially so early in the morning.
Yeah, and also both teams with a slightly shorter journey time, so it's less of an issue for them to have to get up early.
Wow.
And 3 hits there. I believe that was a double hit by Kirsty off Cheska across the court onto Payne. Meanwhile, another hit was made of the player in the middle, so beautiful play. So what's your thoughts on this when it happened? Derby running up and basically releasing a very safe single continuously.
I mean,
do you think they should look for the hit, or just actually it's part of the game, play it?
I mean, I think it's part of the game. I know some people say, like, oh, you shouldn't just do, you know, throwing away singles all the time. You know, some people do sort of look down upon that a little bit. Especially, like, if you wall to wall, you know, you just ping one single off the wall. But at the end of the day, that's part of the game, I think. I think it's a strategy, and if you implement it, then fair enough. I think they very easily could look to get that hit. I think, you know, they're very in a strong position against Bees here, and like I don't think ending that set gives Bees any more of a chance. Like having that extra, you know, 20 seconds or so. But you know, I think in a way it just means, you know what, we don't have to hit you out. We're not desperate to hit you out. We're here to control and win this game, and that's the message that Phantoms are sending.
Yeah. Cheska getting a bit annoyed there. It was a difficult situation where the balls were awkwardly placed up the court.
Oh, and a lovely shot from Tranter there.
Yeah, this Derby team they seem to have found their stride.
Yeah.
Suddenly, actually, those balls that are being thrown almost to miss, they're now being thrown with the intent to hit in a way that they can't be caught either. So it's just that slight change on how they're throwing, and it's working wonders for them.
Yeah, because also we saw at the end of that first half, Bees did make a couple catches on those backtracks.
Yeah.
And you know, Phantoms at first go probably thinking, you know what, we can go aggressive, we're not being caught, let's just get it on target, hit them in the chest with power. But then realising, you know what, actually they make a couple catches, let's not give them any chance. Let's just rip their feet off.
Anna also finding her at wing.
Yeah, nice standing counter there against Smith.
Both players have gone out by Hannah's hands, so nice work.
And as we mentioned earlier, there was that single ball release in the middle. Phantoms middle player Selvey dodging out the way. Phantoms double running counter and getting the hit again.
Yeah,
it works really well for them.
That's the thing. Like, I think it's also a change that Derby have done. The original double running counter was always both players releasing exactly as this, both balls at the same time at the one remaining ball carrier. But they've been able to adapt it to teams playing the single ball against them. Suddenly they go, okay, actually, still going to run and counter, just going to release a single instead of both and get a hit. It's then on the other team to innovate again, to break that down. And I think that's probably why this Derby team has been so strong. And I mean, one draw so far, and we're pretty much halfway through the season. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, they were strong last season, but they're looking even stronger so far. And it's, you know, at this point they've pretty much played a lot of the tougher teams.
Yeah,
they had a nice win against Spartans the previous meet. I believe they've already played in. Not 100% sure on that, but.
Derby Phantom beat Val. They drew to first. They beat Spartans, beaten Sheriffs. I'm not sure of what their Rangers earlier today. I've just been informed by a member of the crowd that actually Derby still won that game. So the only team after this game left to play is going to be Bedford.
tough opponents.
So, yeah, but even so,
they're in good standing.
Yeah,
they're in really, really strong position heading into the end of the year.
It'll be interesting to see if teams are able to adapt and overcome it, especially over the longer break, over Christmas and things like that. It gives people a bit of time to think about things they could be doing instead.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of the time when Phantoms are going for these double running counters, especially if Bees have only released one, I'm kind of expecting or hoping Bees to just hold the ground a little bit more. Not necessarily one that's being double running countered, but for instance, in the one that we were discussing in the previous set, Hannah Ward, who could clearly see she wasn't being countered because Phantoms make it very clear who they're double running countering. Hold your ground. Either release early, get the hit on them, or maybe even just look for a trade afterwards. They're not going to have a ball. They're at the front of the court. But there's been that bit of lack of conviction in going for those kind of trades.
Yeah.
And it means that they're just getting slowly, each step, down a player, down a player.
I think we saw a very good example of the sort of thing that you're saying last match by Lisa, where was being double running countered and actually went, you know what? I'm very likely to get hit by one of these two balls. Instead, I'm going to step forward, further into danger to get a hit on a Spartans player, knowing that I will get that hit and get hit out. Suddenly that becomes, rather than just losing a player, it's a one-for-one trade.
Yeah.
And especially if you're able to get possession off the back of it, like that as well, it can be huge. It can be such a big thing to turn around a game in its entirety, or even just that one frame as needed.
Ooh. Huge attempt at a dodge from Hannah Ward there. Really big movement, unfortunately, just get clipped.
Yeah, one of those things where big dodges is something you quite often hear from people. It's about, actually, there's no point trying to just dodge the ball. Actually, if you can jump over it by a metre rather than by half a centimetre. Actually, get well clear of it, use that little bit of extra energy and stay in. And are not quite able to make it there. And I believe, actually, pairing the court in the tape just not quite sticking fully, so...
Again, Phantoms continue in this control, looking really, really strong as we head the second half. Only 6 minutes 20 remaining. And they are currently 3 players up, in this set. With only 30 seconds remaining, unless Bees make a nice catch play here, realistically, I'd probably see Phantoms taking this set too.
Yeah, and again, are they going to make a catch if Phantoms continue with this single ball well clear of people? Probably not. I mean, that's the thing. Everyone knows exactly what they're going to be doing, but the trouble is with the placement of the balls, it's so hard to actually do anything. They're able to just play out the time there. Like some of those throws near the end, so little power in them. But because they're that metre in front of you, it's so hard to be moving forward and take that catch. So they've just realised that actually this is a tactic that is working. Let's play with it. Yeah, so it's really up to the other team that they're playing to figure out what they need to do to stop.
I think it's a huge thing, especially against certain teams, especially against Phantoms. In the women's league in general, I find more than the men's, that adaptability is crucial. I think people often say that the women's and the men's game compared, the tactics play a deeper role. In the men's, yes, tactics play a role and can definitely be impactful, but sometimes it's just force and like who's got a bigger arm. Whereas in the women's, see their tactics and how each team wants to play a game being more influential in how it actually wins. And I think if you can adapt to another team's play style, it's huge. Yeah. And you often see the teams that can't do that struggle, that can only do their one play style, and if it doesn't work, they struggle. They just can't really compete. And I think a lot of teams struggle, as you've mentioned, struggle to adapt to this such aggressive, counter-heavy playstyle that Phantom's on show.
Yeah, and the other thing you notice, even at training, that actually a lot of the time women are getting hits because they're working together as a team. Even if it's a single ball piece, actually it's working because you've got that support around it, which then makes it very hard for women at training, if they're not playing with other women, to actually practice effectively, because it's not the way they would be able to play. Oh, nice catch there from Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah made quite a few catches so far this game. She'll be really happy with. If I can continue.
Yeah, it's not the way they're normally able to play. So then, whereas the guys, yes, that working together comes into it, but ultimately it's still down to that guy being able to throw that ball hard and fast and get a hit, which remains the same regardless of what the rest of your team are doing.
Yeah. Well, I think mixed is so great, mixed dodgeball, because you bring the two together, and you find the men having to play more tactical.
Yeah.
You find the women using their tactical to their advantage. And I don't know, I love mixed dodgeball personally. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's very good fun. If you are looking to get involved with dodgeball, either mixed or single version, you can do. How do you do that?
So you can head to British Dodgeball's website, which is britishdodgeball.org. We have numerous different pages. We have a come join in page, which is a really great way to learn anything you need to know to get involved in the sport.
I'll be just taking that set at the end there, one player up.
Timeout being called? Yeah, I believe a timeout has been called there. Yeah, get involved, head to britishdodgeball.org. You can also, on our YouTube channel, especially if you're watching on Twitch, head to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/British Dodgeball. You can find loads of videos just of both see more dodgeball, but also we have loads of informative videos, such as our Dodgeball Explained series, teaching you the rules of the game and how you can actually learn to play. Some actually exciting news found out the other day is that the Northern Ireland is getting a mixed league, which I think is really, really great to hear.
Yeah, and it'd be very interesting to see how that then impacts European Championship, because they already, I believe, won it last
back in
tournament.
July.
So able to get gold in, I think, both mixed and men's, I believe.
Gold in mixed and men's, yeah.
So yeah, suddenly them having that opportunities to play, to train, and be doing mixed can only help them even more.
And retain their title next year in Croatia. So, sorry, after you.
No, you go.
So there's about 2 minutes remaining in this half. So probably just see the one set. As I don't really think we've seen any end before 3 minutes, maybe just the one. But Phantom's looking really strong. Well out of reach from Manchester Queen Bees here. 15-3. But it's just whether Phantoms can increase their set difference here, or Bees can, soften the blow a little.
So, seeing as this is likely to be the last set, I will give you a little bit of heads up. At the end of this, I do want the commentary player of the day, of the match, sorry, not of the whole day. That'll be a little early to call that one, maybe. So, give that a think while we watch through this last frame, and you can let everyone know at the end of it. B's able to get a hit, but they have given 4 balls over to Derby, so likely to put pressure on. Jessica trying the cross court, just going behind the players there, so not able to capitalise on it, but do get the second ball. And I think this Bees team is a little bit deflated.
Yeah.
They've had a very bad run of losses. I think also losses that they shouldn't necessarily have had.
Yeah. I mean, looking back to last round, they were up quite comfortably against Stafford Raptors, and Stafford Raptors ended up winning the game.
Yeah.
Which is Stafford Raptors' first win.
Yeah.
So that was really a game Queen Bees would have thought to themselves, we need to win this.
Similar to Storm 2 earlier.
Yeah.
Had 0 wins coming into it and able to take that win off this Bees team. So I think they really need to almost go back to the drawing board, redecide how they want to be playing the game, and figure out what their strengths are and what to do.
Really pick their style. But actually, with that slight fish from Hannah Ward there, we will see a final 1-minute set.
Gives you a little bit more time to be thinking of your...
Yeah, I'm a little bit torn, to be honest. Hannah Ward's been making a lot of great catches, but realistically, I think you have to pick one of the Derby Phantoms players. They've just been so clinical in this game.
And that is the last 1-minute set just underway. And again,
aggressive
this
quick
Derby
start
team
from
just
Darcy.
starting so strong. I think an underrated tactic off the start, that ball that comes back from the middle, yeah, you put pressure on early, but that doesn't mean that needs to be the ball to be released. Actually, a lot of the time, one of the 2 balls that you get is a better ball to be released, because you're getting that ball, get it cleaner, don't have to worry as much about pressure directly opposite you, so it gives you a bit of a nicer run up to it. And that was some gloriously casual dodging there from Dick. I think that was almost resignation about whatever happens, but...
Great catch! Hannah Ward be a bit frustrated with herself there. Great catch from Cheska, but I think it may have been after the whistle.
Regardless,
but Bees take the set.
A win for Bees. So
softens the blow a little bit, but obviously I'm sure they're still not thrilled. 17-5 win in favour of Derby Phantoms. Another big win. They will keep their spot at the top of the leaderboard as we head into the new year.
And congratulations to the MVP of this match, which is Bees.
Honestly, I'm going to go for Kez Tranter. Not originally on the team sheet today. She's replaced Jen Allen, who's out injured. And I think she's been really, really strong on that wing. Had numerous toe shots, numerous big hits and trades, and even had a few catches as well, whilst keeping the energy nice and high.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll be honest, I think actually with the way this Derby team play, you could give it to anyone / the whole
Darcy,
team.
G, they were both really, really strong as well.
It's very hard to make any arguments against it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we are going to take a small break, and then we are coming back for the final Women's Super League game of the day, which is a clash between Bedford Rangers and Leamington Spartans. I've been Alex Such, this is Tim Day, and we'll see you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the last game in Women's Super League. We have Bedford Rangers against Leamington Spartans. My name is Greg Whitehouse and I'm joined by the wonderful and most fantastic
Sam Ward.
There we go. 30 minutes of dodgeball gets underway. Last year, Spartans won one of these games against Rangers, but the second game was the most exciting one. They were 8-2 up at the half, ended up drawing 10-all. Spartans obviously have played one game today. Rangers have played one game today. Rangers lost against Derby Phantoms, and Spartans ended up drawing against Valkyries. But 3 balls now in the hands of Rangers.
Fairly nondescript opening, both teams. Kind of looking to put some feelers out, get back into the flow of the game. No hits made so far. Post throw from Leah Crede. A start Meg White. She's equal to it. Easy block.
Spartans earlier on have that first set, and it was a very slow set for both teams. Okay? And it's pretty much fairly similar in this game here. Both teams sizing each other up. It's sort of, they've not played each other this season. This is the first game where they played each other. Next league meet will be sort of start going back onto those fixtures that we've already had this season. So both teams sort of sizing each other up. It's that slow set that we see so much in Women's Super League.
Hit made finally on Crede with the double counter. And Hayley Whitelaw trades herself with Lucy Barrington. Yeah, nice injection of pace from Spartans to throw in that double running counter even in the face of a 6 by Bedford Rangers. Both teams currently electing to be very disciplined with possession so far. Spartans again electing to invest the ball possession to try and make the hit on the double running counter. No luck this time. 4 balls in the hands of Rangers. People attack doesn't find Lottie Milling.
Yep. Lottie didn't start that last game against Derby Phantoms. Does start this one. Oh, and a single ball thrown and
wow.
Good catch from Meg White.
What an exchange from Spartans. Catch from Karen Pickering. The revenge hit from Meg White. She is then subsequently punished by the left wing from Rangers. She takes the catch as well. Yeah, Spartans, really striking while the iron is hot in this set. 3 players up, 3 balls in hand.
Ball a little high from Lucy Barrington, but a valid throw at that.
Very much so. Not much time left in this set. It was quite a quiet opening. Not much time left. Yeah, Barrington again electing to throw very safe, sensible shots. Bounce just before it connects with Amy Jones.
You see Laura Burrows looking for that single ball catch, but she can't find it.
She's always faced with a tough task there.
Yeah, and it is because, you know, when you're getting thrown at a single from a side like Spartans are never going to throw to an aggressive standard there. They're always going to look at that safe.
Yeah, good discipline from Spartans throughout. Rangers do come away with the middle ball. Burrows elects to go. Yeah, it's potentially not. The cover wasn't quite there from the uncontested balls. The punish is there from Barrington. And gets second prize of taking out a double hit as well. Not the best start from Rangers. That said, majority possession takes out Amy Jones.
Sort of that play that they needed back in their favour, Rangers there, because obviously that double hit from Harry Bignall. And now Rangers have that 4 ball. They're going to be looking for that hit from this. Even things up. And Millington with a side low dodge.
I think one thing we saw from this matchup last season when Rangers got so much joy was basically just when Spartans really struggled to hit them. Spartans have that's what they started the first set with some very conservative ball possession in terms of make sure that they always have 2 balls in hand.
And Meg White
does it again.
there again. And Hayley Whitelaw as she tries to track back, it sort of is forced down into that sort of dodging position and that blocking position, which is then so hard to get out of, and obviously then gets hit in the centre.
Yeah, just probably one exchange too many for Rangers in that front. They did well in terms of punishing the exchange, getting the catch off Bignell. Yeah, Meg was there and up court, but yeah, the post throws on her have just been sticking like glue so far. Still early days in the game, but Spartans 5-2 up and a set up so far. Barrington throws away the 5th ball. Not punished for it.
The aim was to punish, but maybe not the greatest area to throw into. Single ball from Leah.
Shade under a minute left. 3 players down for Rangers. Gonna need a little bit of magic before long. Spartans again very clinical with their single ball releases, making sure it's nullifying any kind of countering or catching threats that Rangers possess. Double counter, looks for Millington, doesn't quite find it. Barrington, yeah, good decision I think.
Yeah, you don't need to throw. You know, you're that 5-2 up. That catch could, you know, significantly change the. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Leah hit by the 4-ball attack, and very good tactics from the side of Spartans. Yeah. It's what we spoke about earlier, really briefly. Oh, when Amy Jones drops an absolute sitter at her chest.
It's that lazy, yeah.
I guess it's that aggressive throw you have to do late on. It's, you know, you're aiming for aggression, hoping that the player drops it just then. Amy Jones obviously doesn't make the catch, and Laura Burrows is tired out by those single ball throws at the end of the set. Yeah, it's something we've seen so much from Spartans this year. It's that change of somewhat play that they hold in their sort of arsenal. It's the we're used to the aggression of Spartans. This year they've really focused on that slower tactics, that slower play style.
Yeah, I wonder if they've learned a few lessons from their previous tail end of last season. I think they're maybe a mature team's the wrong word for it, because this team has a real incredible depth of experience. But just the knowing when to kind of change your mode of play style to rather going all guns blazing, to then be like, no, actually we can play the time here and like grind our opponents into submission. They're very good at kind of having all the weapons in their arsenal to really go for that. The initial exchange benefiting Bedford Rangers so far. They find themselves a player up.
And now holding 4. It's something that Rangers have been working a lot on, making sure that they're not giving away the 4 balls, and this time the 4 balls in their favour. So definitely worked well. Unfortunately, do not make the hit on that, and Lucy Barrington has changed sides. Maybe just to deal with that pressure of Ellie and Laura on that left side.
Yeah, I think maybe it has something to do with Jones being out as well. She's the great catch, Hayley Whitelaw, and a block as well. Excellent stuff. Yeah, I wonder whether because with Jones being out and Elisa Storch also not being here, they are a little bereft of kind of natural right-sided players. Barrington perfectly adept on playing either wing, but yeah, Barrington not really getting too much joy out of Credo when she was initially opposite them, but makes up for it with the long angle to go past the block and find her on the ankles. Spartans half the player deficit is now 4-5 in favour of Rangers in the set. About a minute left.
3 balls now in the hands of Rangers. That 1 player up, a single ball.
Yeah, Whitelaw does well. Whitelaw does well to take that risk and take out Barrington. If the worst she gets is a trade, then it still benefits Rangers massively. She's unlucky to not take the catch from Bignell as well.
It almost settles in.
Yeah, it's bounce called. I think that's the right decision. 2 balls don't find Burrows, or it finds the ground first before finding Burrows. Spartans again not being too reticent to throw away 4 balls. They're trusting their multi-ball attacks and investing ball possession to try and make those hits. Rangers doing very well to survive at this set, and it's really paying dividends. They've just worn Spartans down when they've had possession.
Yeah.
15 seconds left.
And that simple dodging
10.
from Howes in the middle there. Good fake there, but it probably will give Spartans Yeah, simple dodging from House there. You know, those two balls are looking to take her out in the middle there. That simple dodge to the left, a nice wide dodge, just making sure the target isn't found. So Rangers do take that set.
Yeah, good discipline from Rangers as well. We said it to Spartans earlier about just how key decisions and time will actually, you know, really dictate how certain sets go. They did very well to ensure that they didn't have to play any faster than they needed to. Basically meant that last throw is basically immaterial in the scheme of the game. That is an exquisite catch from Karen Pickerington. Upstage almost immediately by Hayley Whitelaw. She's having a brilliant game here.
She is, and obviously the first game wasn't streamed from Rangers. She wasn't having the greatest game, couldn't find much dodges and couldn't find much catching. But this game, she's certainly turned it on and has found catches aplenty, Sam. Spartans, like we said earlier on in that set, where Karen Picking made that astounding catch. Like you said, a bit upshowed then by Whitelaw. Unlucky not to block that one. Burrows disappointed probably with herself because the ball doesn't come with much power. Maybe a half throw from...
Yeah, the release style from Jones is always a little tricky one to read. Real whip around her body with spin on the ball. Yeah, she's very well versed at throwing through blocks. Still four apiece though, and 4 balls in the hands of Rangers yet again. Struggling again to connect with the 2 balls. The middle of the Spartans doing very well on the lateral dodging and surviving. Free throw from Bignor, and she looks for that catch. Can't quite make a stick, but it's still a trade. It's 3 apiece.
Block from Meg White. Box up.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of panic from Whitelaw to throw away that 4th ball. We saw her do it very well and take out Barrington previously. 3-ball attack takes out Skase.
And Lauren, the last player in for Rangers against a very, very experienced 3 side of Spartans.
Still only a 1-catch game, and there'll be plenty of time for it. Nice idea to try and catch Lottie Millington unaware. Balls colliding in midair. Yeah, both players alive. Although the time deficit is now very much in the hand of Spartans here. If they time this right, they may not have to throw again. Gonna be close either way. They do throw again, they don't make the hit, and that may well be that for this set.
A nice block from Meg White. She knows the objective there. She doesn't need to go for anything super complicated. And a question from the YouTube chat, where are these 2 in the league? Well, that is a good question indeed. Leamington Spartans, for this meet, were placed 2nd. Bedford Rangers placed 5th. Things might have changed. Obviously, we've already had 1 game early on in this Women's Super League.
I think with the Spartans draw and a Bedford Eagles win, then Bedford Eagles might have overtaken them. Potentially, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, nice play from Leah Crede to bait in the trade from Barrington, and despite a very big dodge from Barrington, Crede does well to track her dodge.
And that ball does pop up, but I think Spartans are somewhat forced back by the...
Yeah, the corresponding pressure from the other wing is so important. It's one of those where you don't really notice it, like, if... Unlucky. You don't really notice it if it's there, because it basically nullifies any kind of threat, but as soon as it's missing, you notice it 100%.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, Spartans going a bit more, with a bit more high tempo with their single running counters onto these ball holders.
Starting to turn that aggression up, and it's that, maybe that play style from...
Yeah,
they
nice
take
punish.
out Bignor. And that's good from Rangers, you know, they take that trade, and Lauren has been taking those trades all day long. It's got them 4 balls on many occasions. And she's been
the player advantage
exactly.
as well.
Oh! And that is so unlucky. Ball pops up from...
Yeah, that's a real sickener for Spartans. That's basically eliminated any kind of chance that they had of winning that set. But win it, they do not. Bedford Rangers take it, and they're 6-4 down at the half.
Yeah, within touching distance, that last set going Rangers' ways, and as Amy Jones goes to make that catch, Meg White looks to provide assistance to take that catch as well, but then it slips out of her hands, and they're the hardest ones to sort of judge, especially when that ball is in motion, it's spinning sort of as the play goes on. Like you said, at the half, 6-4 to Spartans.
Yeah, an important set for Rangers to win that one. You think that if Spartans had, if they either plucked that ricochet catch or stuck the initial one or anything like that, and you could be looking at an 8-2 scoreline, it's suddenly a very different game. Would it have been only one set in it at the half? These next couple of sets are absolutely key. If realistically Rangers can't afford to let Spartans win both of them, I think it's basically the crux of it. They just kind of need to keep pace with them to start this half and then see what happens late game. As it stands, matching Spartans pretty much toe for toe. They're going very... they're probably been a lot more disciplined in possession than Spartans are. I think Spartans tightened up a little bit in that latter edge of the set. And they're probably also catching more is probably the main... the two main aces that Bedford Rangers are holding at the moment.
Yeah, Hayley's been taking those catches in centre, and Lauren has been providing that aggressive play in the middle. You know, it's been so successful for her so far, but like we said, Spartans are up that 6. They've been playing a slower game throughout. They've really started to speed things up now. Barrington quite hasn't found her rhythm on the wing just yet. Normally, she plays that aggressive play style and is successful in that. Every time Rangers have been shutting her down. It's great from both sides, and a close game so far. We've had 15 minutes of this game, the second half still to come. Like we said, Spartans at 6 or up, Sam.
Yeah, I think the duel between Crede and Barrington on the right as we were looking at it is probably not a duel that Barrington often loses. I reckon in terms of you look at the opponents that they face, you back Barrington to really make her mark against most wingers, but Crede is more than holding her own against her, and that's actually nullifying a huge amount of the Spartans' threat at the moment. Particularly with probably the exception of Meg White in making those catches off the neutral zone exchanges. They haven't really been catching too much at the back of court. The group throwing from Rangers has been hasn't been securing many hits, but it hasn't been giving away many catches either. So, it's a very finely balanced half as it stands.
That second half starts and the ball is somewhat touched by both players. That centre ball, the one that is both contested, it's hit by both players, but does swing on the side of Rangers.
Important, even if you're not going to win the middle ball, important to at least lay a finger on it, because, like, if nothing else, it just eliminates any kind of possibility for a quick start from the opposition. Even if you lose it, not letting them have basically a single ball hit for free is massive.
They are on a play 3 now, so even if they do get the hit, and they get the hit on Ellie Skase, that now Rangers have.
Yeah, unlucky for one ball to ricochet back, I think. Yeah, coming from Hayley Whitelaw protects Crede from Barrington. You've seen Rangers do that quite a lot in terms of the after the player who's released, the middle player often drifts over to kind of cover the opposing winger. We saw it. Wow, you can see it kind of cutting both ways. At the same time as Burrows being very safe from Meg White's counter, Hayley Whitelaw very much is not.
Leaves herself open a little.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, probably by the time she realised she's pretty much dead to rights to White, she decides to release that ball to try and force a trade. But you know, it's a very risky way to throw away possession as well. It's a tricky technique to master in terms of how exactly to cover best.
Yeah, and if Whitelaw makes that trade, it's a very good one for her. But obviously, Meg White does get the hit first, and Whitelaw does not find the sort of dodge out the way. So it does put Rangers on the back foot early on. So about 1 minute 15 left in this set, and Spartans up 3 players.
Yeah, investing 2 balls on Crede, can't make the hit. 4 balls in the hands of Rangers. Fairly critical they make the hit here, I think. They do. Yeah. Amy Jones leaves.
That delayed ball from Leah Creed there just comes in slightly delayed, and that delayed ball. And Amy Jones has made her dodge already. She can't move out of the way of that one because it's coming straight at her from the side.
Yeah, it's one of the benefits of a thrown from the widest angles is you get that kind of natural delay because one of the balls has to travel a longer distance.
And we do it just there.
Exactly, likewise. Yeah, Burrow's doing very well to pick out the knees of Bignell. Very strong coordinated attack, takes out Burrows. Very good tracking as well.
Good tracking, great timing, great power. Everything has been done right from the side of Spartans there.
Did well to stop the momentum of Rangers as well. They're only a player down and we're on a bit of a roll, but Spartans definitely the favoured side now, especially now the set is over. Spartans taking the first set.
Set they needed going into that second half. Obviously, that half-time pause does stop Rangers' momentum. The 2 sets that they had before the half, they were in touching distance. Now Leamington Spartans have put themselves on the front foot again going into that second half. If they take this set, it's the momentum that the Spartans were after. Know how crucial, pinnacle that momentum can be in women's league. It's when teams start taking that momentum, almost so hard to get out of.
Well, we saw it when these 2 faced off most recently, when the moment that Rangers kind of got a couple of sets under their belt, then they were unstoppable. Spartans doing very well to not let that happen again. Exchange play benefiting Spartans for the most part. They take out both the wingers. They take out Skase and Crede. Becky Harper comes up. Becky Harper, I think, has only come on this set and comes straight on to cover Karen Pickering and is probably hit out by, I think it was Burrows.
Yeah, and this time Barrington doesn't decide to throw on the wing as normally she would.
Yeah, again she swapped out to the right. So I guess with Jones coming off, then she's again a natural deputy on the right-hand side. But again, poses a very different. Both of the Rangers wingers are now directly opposite a very different kind of player with that one switch. Gives them something very different to think about.
And it's really when you start unlocking sort of the opponent's sort of tactics and their play styles, now completely against the different side of opposition. Like you said, when you change that tactical player on each side, it's completely different in what you're facing. Hayley Whitelaw puts leg up, goes for the catch, but doesn't quite get her hands around it or get the grip on it. Not find the catch. So the catch is finding in the first half.
Oh, wow! I don't think she can quite believe that herself.
I think maybe the celebration is very understandable because she's wrapped herself low around it.
Oh, that's a bit of a momentum shift I didn't see coming. Yeah, it's, Barrington lost it off. I'm not sure. Those kind of things happen in this game where just like you can do everything right and it just doesn't quite stick, or like doesn't quite go your way. And important to bring back on skate against the court.
Yeah. But I think a good hold.
Yeah,
we've seen what Rangers can do with a 4-ball. So holding that 4-ball, I would have liked Lauren to push on that because you know how good she's been in this game in terms of taking those trades, and Spartans weren't the quickest back in that play.
Yeah, it's one of those where the ends might justify the means. If you do release the 4th ball and make the hit, then that's one thing. But if you release it and then you say, like, I've thrown away 4 balls for no gain, what was I doing that for? Hamas Ward gets hit as a ball retriever. So, in amongst all of that, then there was a slightly more regulation catch from Burrows. And to take out White, puts Rangers up in the set, which they then lasted time. 8-6. to
Didn't that
Spartans.
touching distance, and we said before that set, if Spartans took it, it would have been that great momentum shift for her, for Spartans. Unfortunately, Rangers do then come back and start taking those catches. That catch from Burrows there, the catching out was great for them. It obviously brings that player switch back into their side, and they end up taking the 2 sets.
It's a bit of a test of the Spartans' mental resolve now, I think, because that set is a real real sucker punch for them. The way that they had control of it, and then it's a moment of luck and a moment of brilliance from Burrows that have turned that set on its head. Good shot from Aaron Pickering. The left armour playing on the left-hand side, able to really arc that ball in, and takes out the Rangers on the far side. 3 balls released out of 4. Block from Skase. Yep, called by 2 line refs.
And I think that is a very good thing from the referees, that they'll trust each other's decision. They'll trust each other's decision. Unlucky for Becky Harbour, because that's a great dodge.
Yeah,
unfortunately, just touches the line. Line ref called out Becky Harbour on that. But yeah, the ref trusting each other there. That obviously one centre ref has called the hit. Side that they believe the hit is on. A bit of a radio play now, just as the camera resets. And there you go. So obviously Spartans did make a catch in that play. So we're back to Spartans being up.
Beautifully coordinated double counter takes out Barrington.
Yeah. And this time, Rangers don't decide to hold the 4. This time they go for that double running counter, and it was a good running counter, like you said.
Yeah, it's a good weapon to have in your arsenal. As much as having 4 balls is an asset, then the ability to release 2 balls with a full-blown run-up on someone who's on the backtrack is almost the most bread and butter hit you could possibly make. Case in point there from Spartans, takes out Whitelaw. Becky Harbour really hasn't found her rhythm in this game yet.
It's been unlucky for her, because she is such a great player, and we know she can make those catches time and time again. Unfortunately, like you said, early on she was covering, got hit by the single, falls on the line. It's always unlucky, and it's sometimes when you come on as that sub, there is so much pressure on you to make that impact.
She's come under quite a lot of fire from Rangers as well. I think Rangers done well in terms of not letting her get into the game either, by just keep on her an awful lot of the time.
She picks up Lottie Millington's ball from the middle. Unlucky not to win the set in that dying seconds. Yeah, good catch from Lauren, but like we said, unlucky there because there's little seconds left on the clock. It does give Spartans the edge. They were 3-2 up, 3 players to 2 players in the end of the set, and if that is obviously the case, Spartans end up taking the 2 set points.
I always said after the most recent set that Rangers won, that the manner in which Spartans won that was the manner in which Rangers won that previous set. The real sickener for Spartans, but they've managed to bounce back fairly well. Spartans taking a leaf out of Rangers' book and targeting the new player with the first throw of the game. Barrington takes out. Hits either side from Case and Barrington. Both players had released before the other one was. Both balls are both players leave.
And Meg White this time around does not make the catch high up into central court. Just clips her finger on the way through. So Rangers even up players in this set. Both 4 apiece, Sam. That ball ever so low. Millington does not make the catch. Leah takes the catch low, and Becky Harbour walks off court with head droop low. And it is so hard for a player, time and time again. We talk about mentality and how strong it is in this dodgeball game. It is something that players need. It's not just your play style. It is your mentality that you need, that when everything is going against you, you mentally reset yourself.
Wow. Yeah, that's a real way to steady the ship from Harry Bignell. Yeah, the free throw hit on Frede merely just for show, as she catches her straight away afterwards.
And
Hits on both Whitelaw and Bignell. Pickering tests out Burrows, can't quite find her. If you wanted two players on for Spartans, you've probably got two of your biggest throwers on here. Don't quite put them to good use. Rangers survive.
Burrows decided to...
Yeah, not a bad idea to counter.
Yeah.
They had 3 balls in hand. They didn't fancy giving these two the opportunity to run and counter.
And Rangers are playing this set out about 45 to 50 left on the clock, and all they've got to do is play the single.
Wow.
And Burrows with a toe snapper.
Yeah, the Rangers fans enjoyed that. That was a real snipe.
And a catch made there.
Catch made, and yeah, the line ref confirms she's all right. She wasn't on the back line. Beautifully done by Karen Pickering. Broomfield dodges the 2. 3 balls in the hands of Rangers. Probably back Spartans as the team with 2 balls to fashion a counting opportunity here. White dodges naturally. Double counter, can't quite make the mark either. That's time, a draw.
And that is a draw, and if Rangers end up picking that set up, it would have been that one set that they were very close to again. Now we're going into the dying ends of this game. 1 minute 35. Timeout called for Spartans though. And pause together.
So yeah, Spartans now in a place where they know that if they last the set, then they win the game, even if they lose it. Fairly strong position to be in. You know that they know that Rangers are going to have to pull out all the stops to try and force an elimination in what is a shade under a minute and a half left of this game. Yeah, I think this is where we mentioned around Spartans' overall good discipline and decision making is really going to be worth its weight in gold.
Such a good catch from Harry Bignell there. You know, there was catches from each side. The catch from Harry Bignell does make the...
And the one from Pickering
as
well.
Yeah, very good catches from the side of Spartans. And, you know, they haven't found... I mean, I guess all of Spartans haven't found their catching form in this game. But that set alone was the one that mattered for them. It was the momentum shift. Just to take it away from Rangers. It was to take the pressure off themselves. You know, they are now 4 set points up. So 2 sets a difference. This is where Spartans will need to play the slow set, and Rangers need to put everything on the line.
Yeah, you can expect fireworks from the Teal Army.
Barrington just making sure the Spartans are slow in their approach.
Yeah, again, Broomfield targeted first. Yeah, Spartans again doing very well to not let her get into the game either, especially with Harper. But yeah, Broomfield, despite being caught back in the last set, hasn't survived the first volley either time yet. White dodges out the way of 2. Double counter on Crede, doesn't quite luck. Spartans will be happy with that though. If they don't lose a player, then they know they've won the game. Any passing volley with nothing happening benefits Spartans massively. Catching out from Karen Pickering. She's really made her mark on this game.
Yeah.
Countless as well. Take out Skase on the far right. Yeah, Rangers now with it all to do.
Becky Harper blocked this time, and Meg White makes a slightly lucky catch in her side this time.
Yeah, Burrows had a bit of a taste of her own medicine. I think. Yeah, funny what goes around comes around. A 5-ball release on Whitelaw doesn't find the mark, but I think it's realistically fairly immaterial at this stage.
You would probably need a double hit or 2 to win this set.
It would be quite something.
Oh, and Becky Harper. She goes for the catch. She knows it's coming low. Unfortunately, sometimes those balls just dip a little too much and does find the shoe.
Plenty of accuracy from the Rangers girls to this. And that's that. Spartans win that final set.
And that final set going in the way of Spartans. So the final score, 13-7, obviously doesn't quite look as nice as Rangers had been playing. Always a heartbreaking one that when you look back at the score and you look at 13-7 isn't the greatest, but Rangers will be very, very proud of the game they've just had. And if it wasn't for that one set that maybe swung it back in the way of Spartans, that end score might have been slightly different.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at it objectively. You've played 10 sets in 30 minutes. It means that pretty much all sets went to time. There weren't really many eliminations throughout, which means that it wasn't a steamrolling by any means. And yeah, I think we mentioned that. I mean, with Spartans missing Storch, I think was the only absentee today. The fact that they've pulled a team that's fighting tooth and nail at the top of the league to then take them to. Realistically, they could have won that in when the last set kicked off. Yeah. They were still winning a chance of really getting something from the game. The scorelines can sometimes be a bit deceiving. Generally, a very good performance from both sides, but Spartans just such a miss. So
that is the end of Women's Super League, but there's plenty more dodgeball of today left. We're back now onto Men's Super League, so if you're currently watching on YouTube or Twitch, give it a little refresh in about 5 minutes or so, and we'll be back for Men's Super League. On this court, first of all, will be Manchester Bees versus Leamington Spartans. So, be back very shortly. It's a bye from me.
And goodbye from me.